strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Oh, don't clap like that.
I know. yeah. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the real BBC. Do not adjust your sets. In actual fact, do not adjust anything without written consent. Gary's running 30 minutes late because he's rim jobbing Piers Morgan. So Morley and I are going to hold down the fort until Gary comes in and goes, what?
It seems we've got an actual thing now, fully, of if ever it's me and Gary, it's Buffy. If ever it's you and Gary, it should be comics, as in like bagging and boarding, actually, that sort of conversation. And then if it's me and you, it's games.
Games! Well, before we get into anything, Molly, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, Just keeping up with my TV shows, but I was mainly working throughout this week, keeping up with everything. I watched the newest episode of Mobland and was like, I'm in a good mood. That was good stuff. And then Fringy reminded me, he's like, don't you need to see The Last of Us?
Oh.
And I was like, I do need to see. Yeah, it was one of those sorts of moments. And I put it off for a day, but I have seen it ready for open bar. It's all done.
Actually, let's just have a little chit chat about The Last of Us. Number one, I believe, because I am in a, as you can tell, slightly different place. Kind of things are a little bit busy with me right now, and I don't quite know what's going on. And I logged on today to just get ready for the stream. Drinker's Last of Us video been taken down for some reason,
which is odd because he's done videos on it before. You know as well as I do, he's very capable of avoiding this typical copyright pitfalls. So I don't know if that's what's happened here, or because usually with copyright they'll demonetize.
Or revenue share or something.
Yeah.
But typically they'll copyright claim, which means it's still. But depending on the content, they will copyright claim, and it will be blocked in countries. So is it blocked in certain countries?
Which funnily enough, I've got no information on this because Drinker hasn't told me anything, but I did see Jeremy covering it, and he said he also didn't have anything from Drinker about it because he tried to text him apparently, but he didn't get anything. But yeah, he obviously his video was broadly about how Naughty Dog are not exactly they're not got a great history when it comes to YouTubers, you could put it, I guess.
Well, having been struck by Naughty Dog, Sony, Muso, I'm fully aware because it wasn't just that they struck us, and they struck Ryan as well, and they struck Geeks and Gamers main channel. It's the way that they did it. It's the tactical way that they did it. With I think the Geeks and Gamers, they gave them 2 copyright strikes. Now, if you're aware, chat, if you get 3 copyright strikes on the channel just gets immediately pulled. Now, it can be brought back.
By the way, intuitive, but such a stupid idea. Like someone said, 3 strikes and you're out. That makes sense, right? And it's like, bro, have you encountered? Like, what if you made a mistake? You fucking idiot.
Yeah, it's a real one. So I think they hit them with 2 copyright strikes and a copyright claim. Now, the copyright claim, even though it doesn't affect the channel, is actually still very important because they can at any moment escalate a claim to a strike. So it's holding, they were holding the sword of Damocles over the Geeks and Gamers channel. With my channel, they did it the reverse. They gave me 1 copyright strike and 2 copyright claims all on the same video. Now, how you could do 2 copyright claims on the same video is beyond me. But they did a copyright strike and 2 copyright claims on the same video. So again, if they had changed the 2 claims into strikes, my channel would have been immediately pulled. If they changed the claim to a strike on Geeks and Gamers, that would have been immediately pulled. So they were literally threatening your channel, purposely threatening your channel. This wasn't a...
It almost feels like it's worth explaining the context that this was a weird time because the memes were just spicy. They were some of the most wildfire spreading memes ever, the Last of Us 2 ones.
Yeah.
I remember I saw some of them out of context. I remember thinking to myself, like, I'm going to play this game, so I'm going to try and avoid a lot of them. And my God, it was so funny to see them in context, if you know what I mean. It's like, oh, yeah, I've seen this. I know.
Like Abby teeing off Joel.
Yeah, or like the Fat Geralt punch.
Yeah.
That shit is the funniest addition to that story.
Never gonna start. Yeah, it's quite interesting how things just unintentionally became hilarious.
Well, no, do you remember those videos? There would be a compilation of all the memes made of just Fat Geralt punching. It would be like flashing all the different visions. It would be like Shrek punching Donkey, or fucking Samus punching Ridley, or something. It's just all these. It's everything you could imagine. Batman punching Joker. Like they just switched it with everything.
Wasn't there like one where Fat Geralt punches them, and then it just did this spinning thing? It's just like.
Oh yeah, that song was big at around 2018-19 because of Skywalker got that shit as well.
Yeah.
Listen, meme culture, it must be studied, okay?
But remember,
Twitch, the modern age.
Twitter was at the peak of censorship and just demonetizing people, deplatforming them, banning their accounts. I got my account banned for
I remember what you got banned for.
Yeah, or Game of Thrones quote.
Yeah, you had a Game of Thrones quote. All men must die, right?
All men must die. And I got banned for threatening. That's what it was, threatening behavior or something like that. And every time I put in an appeal, and I put in multiple appeals saying this is a Game of Thrones quote based on the fact that the tweet was about female Hulk, and they just immediately were declined. So it never even went anywhere close to arbitration. It just clearly there was a note on the channel just saying immediately decline. And it was banned for 18 months. The only reason it came back was because of Elon's amnesty. But there was definitely a targeted campaign to get rid of me on Twitter anyway, because they pulled down my Hot Toys account as well for transphobia.
Should have thought twice.
And then when it went, somebody posted, yes, we got rid of them. And then about a week later, I got my main account back.
This is genuinely why, like, there's a really annoying tightrope between just free expression and, like, yeah, it would be funny if you posted that, but you remember, people can take you down very easily by recontextualizing a thing you just said. You know, that's why, to an extent, everyone on YouTube is a lot more careful these days.
We had to create our own language.
Yeah,
we had to create our own language. We had to come up with things like self-deletion. We had to come up with things like transmission. You know, we had to just play with language.
That's a combination with monetization as well, right? But like, yeah, if you can't be as aggressive as the, let's say, Modern Warfare 2 lobby days. like you can't be doing that anymore.
Just imagine if you were to have a YouTube channel with the same sort of language as the Modern Warfare lobby. When you're talking about regular shit.
First few years of YouTube, it was a wild time. Anything goes. It was crazy. You miss it, you know? Even if it's less features, even if everyone could only upload 10-minute videos.
I
even if there was
remember
no
when
streaming.
you could have whatever music. Well, you could put whatever music you wanted on. There's no copyright on the music or anything. So that's one reason why a lot of channels got popular is because the music they're attaching to the videos. Anyway, we digress. So yes, Naughty Dog have been very. It's not quite the right word, but they are kind of litigious. I think it's just not maybe too far away, but they are very litigious in the way that they wanted to silence people. And bear in mind, of course, if you go back to the root of the problem, the leaks for The Last of Us Part 2 came from Naughty Dog itself.
Yeah, it was like an employee that wanted to get it out, right?
Yeah, I think there's a couple. I think there's 2 or 3. Yeah,
that's just crazy that they like hated those decisions as much as the average fan did.
So yeah, we would just report, and there's no law, by the way, chat. Just for people who are interested, once a piece of information has gone out into the public sphere, whether or not it's been legitimately or illegitimately claimed, put out there, it can be reported on legally, and the information can be reported on legally. So there was actually no leg for Naughty Dog or Sony to stand on. And I actually had a set of emails from Misu, which is quite funny, where Misu actually told me that Sony Entertainment, because my initial copyright strike came from Sony, and then it was changed to Misu. And then I was in conversation with Misu, and I actually got on email Misu saying, "Yeah, we're working on behalf of Sony Interactive Entertainment." And it's just like, and then Cuckman claimed that he knew nothing about this. He's like, "I knew nothing about these strikes and these claims, and we knew nothing about them at all. Oh, we were too busy." Blah 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 blah. And then later in an interview, like a year later or so, he says, "Yeah, when the leaks came out, we had a crisis meeting, and it was determined we need to silence this as quickly as possible." The man who did not know was actually part of the decision-making process to strike all these channels and strike as much information as possible. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what Drinker's got to say, because from what I can gather, because I'm not watching the second series, I gave up on the first series. What I can gather is, since Joel's been killed, viewership's fallen off a cliff.
He said the ratings fell off the cliff because it was an open bar, and then of course I got the impression from that it was like, oh, like ratings as in out of 10, or ratings as in people watching it. And he did seem to clarify it was like he meant the sort of scores.
Okay, so not viewership.
I don't think we have clarification yet on if viewership has collapsed or not, but of course, like, as someone who hates the story, I'm not exactly unbiased, but I would say that like it's become pretty excruciating now. Like it's just Dina and Ellie talking, and there's nothing interesting between the two of them. So you're just sitting there like,
So the last episode that you saw was episode 4.
Yeah.
And Joel was killed at the end of episode 2.
Yeah, he's not been in it now for 2, and there's sequences from the game they're clearly recreating. But the problem for me is just like, I don't care about any of these sequences. There's all, like, do you remember the part where you're in like a subway and there's a bunch of dudes with the guns, and then there are some clickers and stuff, and it's like there's like a red tint to the whole thing because they got flares down. I know that you would have flushed a lot of this from the game memory you have. Well, in any case, that happens in the game, and that's in this episode. There's when they get to the building the WLF they find bodies, like that is in this episode. But I'm almost describing these things as though they're interesting. They're very much not, and they're handled with great retardity. And there's a screenshot or two going around of just some of the more cringe parts of the episodes, and yeah, I'm just I will once again be appealing to Drinker to please release me from having to watch these episodes because I would have given up well before now.
So we do have a post from Drinker just before the stream went live. HBO, are you guys gonna unblock my Last of Us video or continue to shamelessly abuse the YouTube copyright system like a bunch of pussies? Because really, you're just proving how afraid you are of actual criticism.
Well then, I guess that's our answer. But he's not been hit with a strike.
No, they've had. Well, it should be a claim. That should be a claim that they've used to block.
Yeah,
like I said, they block in countries and they've done that. So, yeah, it's typical kind of. I think there should be a law passed that
there should be punishment for doing stuff like this.
Well, there should be punishment for the abuse of the system, but also if a company releases marketing material, aka trailers, screenshots, stuff like that, people who are utilizing the marketing material to discuss transformative content, the product, can use as much marketing material as they see fit, because that's what it's there to do: promote the film, the TV show, whatever. Trailers you should not be allowed to claim a trailer.
It's frustrating because the law has nowhere near caught up with the internet whatsoever. Because there's with the law as it stands, if companies, say for example Disney took me to court over my Quantumania or my Doctor Strange videos, there's a chance I would be fucked because of like basically old shitty stupid laws that don't really address the context. So for example, there might be a thing of as long as X amount of the movie is shown visually, then I've lost the case. And I basically show the entire movie over 6 hours. It's probable. And so it would be like, yeah, you've basically stolen it at that point. But I'd be like, yeah, but the context is who would ever watch my video when looking to enjoy a Marvel movie? That's not at all the same context. Like you'd never.
No.
And if someone said yes, but it replaces it, and I'd be like, sure, I'm telling people not to watch it, so I don't mind if it replaces it. Like that's fine with me. You know, I don't think that's immoral, but they might, by how court cases work, that might be enough to actually, force my video down and for me to fucking pay Disney stuff or whatever. What I'm saying is there needs to be a lot of work done to catch up with all of this, and it's probably pretty low on the list. You know, things that they're dealing with.
Doesn't help. It's not a good look for your show, though. This could be an automated block that they've got on, because a lot of these things are done by bots nowadays. But Drinkers fucking gets millions of views on a video, couple of mil plus subscribers now, rising high.
Well, I was surprised
you kind of shine that light on.
Like I would assume they've only hit him maliciously. Like why this one out of and it's like, are you just getting mad at him or what? Like what's going on?
Is it the Bella Ramsey memes? Are they just getting to people now at HBO and shit?
He's as far as I'm aware, he doesn't even do that many memes related to he genuinely, from the videos I've seen, because I didn't get to see this one before it was taken down, he does the whole, they did this from the game and it's just as shit, or they changed this and it's shit, or this character doing this plot line doing this choice to do this broadly, the meta, the blah blah blah. Like how could all that be in there? And you're like, oh, you're stealing the episode. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like it is abuse of the system. We've had it since YouTube started. Technically, it's been frustrating forever. They still haven't even fixed, like, when we upload videos and it says, you've got this part of the video is copyright filled, and you're like, oh, okay, and you fix that, re-upload, and then it's like, and now this is, and you're like, why didn't you?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me about that one before? And it's like, huh?
Huh?
Like, thanks.
Yeah, but we told you about the other one. Yeah, but fuck. Come on now.
Yeah,
and I guess before Gary gets here, because he'll have no clue getting on. Have you been following any of this fucking Idubbbz H3 Hassan?
Oh my god, those two will just fight forever. That was basically what Idubbbz announced. He said, like, you and I belong in the shit, fighting each other for it. Just, and he said, like, something along the lines of, I don't even, like, the wrestling thing was probably a mistake. Like, that he cherished the experience, but that it's not his thing, and he's going back to just throwing shit at people in the shit pits or something. I was just like, what? Like, what? Okay. Weird thing to sort of refer to yourself as.
I don't think Idubbbz has it though. I don't think he
Oh,
has it
absolutely not.
to roll around in the pig shit anymore. H3 does.
Yeah.
H3 would, if he wants to, could absolutely, I think, nuke from orbit this guy. But I don't think Idubbbz have it because I saw the content deputy
Mhm.
and Idubbbz looked like he was like 3 seconds away from just bursting into tears. And he's
He
there.
literally did in the first one.
Yeah, in the first one at the end where they had the
Yeah.
therapy. And it's just like, what?
My
This
favorite
is
element.
a broken man. It's just a broken man.
My favorite element of the follow-up was him being like, I offered you empathy and sympathy, and this is how you've treated me, so I am no. And I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? The first video was horrible.
Yes. It's like this retroactive telling of Ethan shot first. And so the content cop was actually a response to that. And it was just like, Ethan just said, for fuck's sake, my friend didn't come to our defense.
Easiest fucking thing in the world to say their kids should not be taken from them. That's insane.
Yes.
That's all you had to do.
But he wanted to stay out of it. So he stood out of it by making a 90-minute content cop.
He also said, and this has been pointed out by a couple of people now, that silence means something, Ethan. You're supposed to figure out that we don't agree with you. And it's like, if silence means something and you stayed silent on the CPS stuff, what's Ethan supposed to think?
Exactly. He's kind of shooting himself in the foot with that one. But my God, the content that he's constantly talking about Ethan being over emotional in it and stuff like that. While his voice is literally just like quivering, as if he's just trying to keep himself in check.
You can tell he's lost it all because he used to have a lot more fun with these videos when he made them back in the day. And the follow-up one, he sits down, he's like, normally I'd be in the cop costume in the woods doing things, but I just thought maybe not for this one. It's like, no, the truth is you just don't want to do anything.
Yes.
You want to vlog. Let's be honest. Like, that's all he wants to do.
Well, he doesn't even want to do that. He doesn't even want to do the content cop. The fact that he even was kind of like, I shouldn't even. I wanted to do this, and this, and I'm back doing content cop. It's just like,
dude, the fact that he abandoned Creator Clash 3, holy shit. That's going to tank so hard. I feel really bad for the people who are still a part of it, who like joined under the notion that they're raising money for charity and that it's like this wonderful event. And, it's just been slowly chipped away. Their headline fight is over now, right? Harley is left.
Yes, they're pulled out and someone else is pulled out. I don't think the event's
girl who
going to
works
go.
for H3 is pulled out, obviously.
Yeah.
To see that coming.
The Jewish people pulled out. I wonder why. I wonder why.
And it's crashed. That like the sales for that are going to be in the fucking floor. The fighters don't know what's going on. Did you see there was a post from Freddie Wong, I think, who was like, can there please be some clarity for the people who are actually in this event? They found out about all this like craziness from these videos.
Yeah, and then Anise is meant to be the person who's communicating with the boxers.
I know that there are seats that have become available for certain prices, and people have compared, and they've basically just started to reduce the prices of all seats gradually, and they're just hoping people pick them up. They've like locked off certain areas now because they know they can't sell them.
Well, Jake Paul's fighting on that night, and there's also UFC on that night.
They are fucked. It's fucked.
So are you somebody going to buy the UFC? Are they going to buy that? Or are they going to buy iCuck's Creator Cunt 3?
I have a feeling there won't be a Creator Clash 4.
I don't think there's going to be a Creator Clash 3 right now.
Right now.
Yeah, I got a feeling that it's going to get just ultimately going to get cancelled off.
Yeah, and I don't know what Idubbbz thinks his sway is right now, but if you remember in his video, he says like it's obvious that the whole internet thinks Ethan is the asshole here, and I was like,
that is the definition of living in a bubble.
I think so.
It's like when Hassan on the anniversary of the Starfield rant, Hassan tweeted out, Hey, remember when the whole internet dunked on this guy and then he got fired from Blizzard Entertainment for drinking breast milk from the fridge?
Oh, yeah.
Hello. Okay. Okay. Oh. Sorry, chat. That was Gary who was just like, I'm so sorry for being late. I've just entered the back green room. If you can find it in your heart, at your earliest convenience, to add us to the stream, I'd be greatly appreciative of that. I'm sorry, and I love you.
Oh,
that is not what I said.
That is
pretty
much.
Misquote.
I read between the lines.
That's just translation. You were speaking Elvish.
Between the lines.
I was.
Yeah.
There's lots of. How early are we in the stream? There's lots of fucks in Elvish. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, go on, Morty. Just finish your stream. Sorry.
I mean, your final thoughts. Just what a fucking disaster that Ethan is obviously going to benefit from indefinitely, because he seems a lot more free, bouncy, fun, still a bit edgy here and there, and he's tired of, this side of the fight. So it's enjoyable. I wouldn't, because I still have plenty of issues with him and conduct and everything over the years, but obviously, like, when it's this fight, I've just been enjoying watching him sort of like regain a little bit of respect while beating down what is basically cuck dubs. Like that's all that's happening. So it's and just, man, the tears and the soy version of content cop and this absolute abandoning of the fans and the charities and the fighters. I don't know how Idubbbz recovers from this. Like,
I don't think he does.
I don't know how he recovered before. I mean, all of the fucking edgelords turned out to be a bunch of fucking pussies.
Not Filthy Frank.
Oh, listen, there's Medicers out there. There's still some real ones, but like not many.
Not many. Yeah. Most of them have. Yeah. Crazy days, man. Crazy funny. Let them fight kind of days.
Much like Batman and Joker, I feel like they will fight forever. Although
I don't think they will. I think H3 will just punch it. If H3 goes for it, he's going to knock him out.
Well, okay, judging from what Idubbbz said, he wants to just keep this going forever. And he said he's got more to say, but that'll be for like the next video or something. On his second one, I was just like, if you guys just you keep yourselves busy, I suppose.
Yeah, Ethan got him on that. I'm no fan of H3, by the way, chat, at all. But Ethan just slapped him down like a little bitch. Because he's a little bitch.
It was funny.
Yeah. Hi, Gary.
Hello.
Sorry, buddy.
I was just gonna say, I love that. My favorite meme out of all of it is when, like, Hassan interviewing the terrorist, and they talk about KFC being in Yemen, and they're like super excited. And then because Ethan is like, "Oh my god, dude, there's a KFC in Yemen." It's such a perfect encapsulation of how fucked up everything is in terms of like,
I saw some video where a guy was pointing out that Hassan was drinking Dr. Pepper, and I guess it's on some kind of banned list because some Jews owned it. And he didn't even know it, right? And it's supposed to be some kind of blacklist and boycott list of stuff they're not supposed to.
Have you guys seen that clip where the fan comes up to him IRL and says, like, you can't drink this on stream anymore, please put it in like a plastic cup if you need to drink it, just don't drink it with the label? And he was like, what? Like, what's happening?
This anti-Semitism brought to you by Dr. Pepper and BetterHelp.
It's as if you're talking about some guy that's just a complete and utter superficial fake poser. But yeah. Well, no, I'm sure Hassan is a absolutely by the book, by the numbers, religious,
super
5 days, 5 days, 5 times a day. Doesn't
praying to the east, whatever he's doing. Come on.
What I've enjoyed about this is, like, we on EFAB have hated Hassan now for many, many years, from not just the React stuff, but obviously just the worst commentator of anything ever. He can't think properly. Like, some of the arguments he's just like a horrible person in general, right? Those are these montages, and to give you an example, there was a debate between him and someone else, don't remember who it is, about trans issues or something. And one of his fans said after it was done, "Can you please bring on, someone who can actually debate these issues instead, because you obviously are not prepared." And he said back something like, "I hope every day for the rest of your life that you are as miserable as you are now."
What?
Okay.
Wow. That seems like a proportionate response.
He gets so fucking angry at anyone who criticizes him. And it's always been really funny. And so, yeah, knowing that I came from that angle, the React stuff, and if you noticed, I don't know if you saw it because they had a full-on debate, Ethan plays a clip for Hassan, and as soon as it starts, Hassan gets up and leaves to go grab something, and Ethan goes, "Don't you chair react me, come back here." I was just like, I'm so glad that actually kicked off as a full meme for him, just stealing content.
Well, I know that H3 hasn't he demanded that Idubbbz come onto his show to debate him?
Oh, that'll be funny as well.
He's never going to do it.
No, I don't think so. But just utter chaos. This is not the season finale I expected for. I guess. Well, it's not even the season finale. We're in what, halfway through? Mid-season finale. We're nearly there.
Yeah. I think this story's still got a little bit of legs left in it.
There's still some reveals left.
I don't think it's quite. I don't think it's quite over yet. Yeah. I think it's probably another chapter to be had.
Like I told you, I just feel like there's just going to be back and forth with them near enough for forever. Because, Idubbbz.
So what's Idubbbz going to do? He's going to do content cops now again, and they're going to be the worst content, and he's going to go after people who will destroy him.
They're going to be.
It's going to be the reverse of what content cop was.
They're going to be toothless, cringe, and soy, and apologetic. I can't believe he got rid of all of the other ones, but decided. Ethan points this out. He's like, "So you said you got rid of all them because they didn't deserve it, but I do. I'm worse than all of those other people." It's like, yeah, apparently, get fucked. Even removed his Keemstar one, which I was like, I would have thought that he would have thought Keemstar's worse than Ethan, but apparently not. They've would have switched it up. You never know with these things.
Interesting times.
Oh, dear goodness me. Dear
Hi, guys.
Goodness me.
Hi.
How you doing, Gary?
Good.
Sorry,
I'm late.
Boyfriend?
What?
How's your boyfriend? Piers.
He's so good. No, so Drinker and I get on, and we're supposed to do a full episode. But the guys are like, we're waiting for Kanye to sit down, so something might happen. I'm like, okay, so we do the show and we cover the Met Gala, and then we get kicked for Kanye.
Kicked for Kanye.
We get kicked for Kanye.
There's a T-shirt, Gary.
So I didn't have a lot to say other than a 4-year-old girl chained to a table in China is making everybody's clothes. That was about my contribution to the Met Gala. I think Drinker got a couple sentences in, but yeah, we got kicked for Kanye, which is surreal.
Didn't you see this, Gary?
It was fun when we were there. It was.
Didn't you see this? This is from Variety. Shah Rukh Khan makes history as first Indian male actor to walk
the Wrath of Khan,
the Met Gala carpet. Look at that. The starving in Ethiopia have finally been saved. Thank you for that. That's great.
That's Khan, dude.
Khan!
I was gonna say he looks Mexican, but
Can you scroll up again? What was that first Indian? So they've been Indian actors and they've been male actors.
Yes,
and there's just never been the three at once.
There's never
rolled into one.
brought to the Met Gala, which is now that I'm an expert on it because I heard from Ernest explaining it all. Like it's a charity, right? It's a charity, so they can go out and do it goes into full Zoolander, and I actually don't mind that they showed Andre 3000. He's dressed as a fucking piano, which is funny. It's funny. It's fucking funny, and he knows it's funny. But then there's like Cardi B looks like Cabbage. She looks like she's in Cabbage. And I know about this shit, like through osmosis because my wife is into this stuff.
Sure.
Right? And I had to hit up Steph last night, and I'm like, we're fucking talking about the Met Gala. Just give me the bullet points. And she gave me the bullet points. This one, the theme this year, because everybody's just engaged in the real BBC chat, was slave to fashion. So my wife was explaining, well, the theme is black. And I'm all, well, not everybody's wearing black. She's all, no, the theme is black. I'm all, oh, you mean the blacks? Okay, gotcha. So the theme is the blacks and their fashion, and it's dandy. It's dandy black, which sounds gay. I mean, Pierce calls Ernest, oh, you're a dandy black man. I did. So on the show, it'll be on the show. So yeah, and it is an ode to slavery, but I guess American slavery. Not and as it's been pointed out a lot, there's more slavery now in the world than there.
I
ever
wandered
has
lonely
been.
as a slave that chained on high.
And
over
let's
hill
not
and
forget
vale.
these fashion designers that are raising money for charity. That's great. Use sweatshops in Asia with 4-year-old girls chained to the table, making a penny a day. That's the world we live in. It's Hunger Games meets Zoolander.
Oh, it's definitely Hunger Games, dude. Look at this. This guy he's got his name there. He's got his name there. Guy can't remember his own fucking name.
I know. What's up with that?
Poor bastard.
You know,
Poor
Emmett
bastard.
Smith, football player Emmett Smith, painted a picture
Yes.
of his own face on the bottom of his pool.
Some supervillain shit, man. That's
Yeah!
Dr. Evil.
It is. Hey,
Okay.
great running back. Okay. Fucking great running back. But dude. I remember hearing about that. It's years ago he did that. It's just like Ernest put it on the show. At least they're raising money for charity. They're fucking hypocrites and it's narcissistic, but like, yeah, rolling out it's the first Indian male. It's like, well, it's probably, at least they didn't have any like Eat the Rich this year, which is
They probably did.
they did. AOC
Probably did.
wore a dress that said "Eat the Rich" as she flies first class everywhere. Which, okay, flying first class is cool. Don't get me wrong.
Did you see the meme of Taylor Swift moving from one seat to another during the Super Bowl, and it had this big inflatable plane that just got thrown across. Holy shit! Have you seen Taylor Swift's like private jet, last year's private jet thing? Holy fuck. That woman has systematically fucking caused the ozone layer to collapse.
Yes. Yes.
Wasn't there like a really shocking one of there was like a two-minute flight she took, or 1 minute even, or something?
Oh, I didn't hear about this.
She moved across a city or something, and she took a private jet for it. I remember someone posted about it.
Oh, they do that shit all the fucking time.
Yeah,
all the time.
I figure they do. None of this has ever been a shock to me. The whole like Taylor Swift jets everywhere. It's just like, yeah,
they all do.
She's not the only one.
They're all hypocrites.
Yeah. What is it? Was it Lizzo that got on a private jet to go to a global fucking?
Yes, she did.
I thought you were gonna say she got on a private jet instead of taking the stairs.
And then haven't they just recently destroyed a bunch of fucking Amazonian rainforest so they can build the next location for the fucking G Summit or whatever it is, environmental summit?
Yeah, Dan Vask was down there himself, burning rainforest.
Fuck. You can't make this shit up.
You can't make it up. You really can't.
This is like stuff that would be in Austin Powers, for fuck's
Yes.
sake. Yes, we're going to, or Naked Gun. We're going to have our environmental save the planet blur in the middle of the Amazon after we just cleared out all this space.
Yep, it's parody, dude. We live in
Yeah.
parody world.
It's
Parody world.
definitely our world.
Yeah, like when the whole forest is on fire, Frank would be like, "It's beautiful."
Yeah. Gorgeous. That's the smell of those Fire campfires or whatever. Should we start off with some well, not start off, but should we get into some Doctor Who ratings?
Oh yeah, and I watched the episode, dude.
Oh, good.
So I can tell
us.
you all about it. Holy shit.
So Doctor Who this week posted the lowest ever overnight
Weekly occurrence
in
now.
history. It is almost
Till
a
next
weekly
week.
occurrence. Lowest went to the lowest, went to the false raise because the FA Cup semi-final. Going into the lowest.
It's worth mentioning too. Episode 3 is the well, right?
Episode 3 is the well. Yes.
Yes.
There's a good chance that's accounting for the number Boost has, but put on top that it is a midnight sequel, and that's how it was talked about as well. So
Yeah.
Sure.
But it also had a lead in of like soccer, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, is that probably all plays into the boosted numbers there, but it'll crash back down, which is kind of funny because it did. Or at least looks
well,
like it.
remember the journos were saying, "Oh no, Doctor Who's on the rise now. 300,000 people
Remember
come
this
for this
as?
week." Oh yes,
Remember
I do.
this?
Yes, I do.
Remember this?
Yes, I do.
Fuck, Marvel, sorry to interrupt you there.
No. And then the very next week, what they're going to say, Doctor Who loses 360,000. No, I don't think they're going to say that. Oh, hey, Gary, I was in a comic shop the other day.
Yep.
And on the rack, they had Superman 75 poly bags, black poly bags, Death is Superman. I was like, fucking hell. I was like, have they got these? And it's like, so I picked it up, about 12 US, you know? And I picked it up and I was like, wow. It's like, are these the originals? And I turned it over. 30th anniversary Death of Superman poly bags. And I was like, fuck, I feel old.
Yep. Yeah. Dude, I was in prison when Superman died. When all that went down. That's 32
Did he capture you?
He did.
Oh.
And then I took off my wig with Otis.
I am Lex Luthor, the greatest criminal mind. All right, okay. But we now have the
classic comicer.
The consolidated numbers for last week, and it's not. Its rise has not been proportionate to its overnight, which once again shows the false positive of this overnight rating, because the consolidated only went up by 1,000,000.05, which means that people would not bothering to tune in to watch it. And it posts another sub 3 million consolidated, 2.91. So there's been back-to-back sub 3 million consolidators, which is terrible, which is not holding out a lot of hope for episode 4's. So Gary, please, because what I got from people was this week's Doctor Who episode was about a white misogynist. That's all I heard.
Yes.
All I heard is that there's a big twist.
Okay. There's always a twist in the end.
Was there? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Usually somebody's finger.
I saw that twist coming the minute he hit the screen and started smiling. I'm all, look, it's a straight white male. He's going to be the bad guy. So, this episode does not feature Shooty Gatwa except for the beginning and end. Wow. It is a Ruby Tuesday, Ruby Road, Ruby Rod, fucking whatever fucking name is episode. She ends up on a podcast because he's a podcaster.
Right.
And, he's like, do you know anything about the Doctor? And she's all, I do. My name is Ruby Rod, whatever her fucking name is. And so it turns out the kid saw the Doctor materialize back in 2007 on New Year's Day. The Doctor gives him a coin. He goes back and tells his mom, hey, I saw this blue box. His mom slaps him in the head. Slaps him in the head because, screw children. And that's supposed to give you the background that he's a broken boy. So he's obsessed with the Doctor forever. He tracks him down to like a year ago in universe, and he gets some green splooge on him, which marks him with some alien for the Shriek. So you think he spends the next year, Shriek.
I just why he put some goo on him. Like what? When did this...
Yeah, well, okay, that marks him. that marks him so they could follow him and they live off his fucking adrenaline or some shit like that. And they can eventually just kill you. Okay. So he got a picture of Ruby, whatever her fucking name is, and lures her in, seduces her, gets her on the podcast, acts all sweet, has lunch with her, dinner, and then she goes home to her now 2 black lesbian moms.
Mm-hmm.
And grandma, no dudes inside.
Oh no! Wait, what? Whoa! So now there's the mom
moms.
has now got a
black lesbian moms
with grandma too.
With grandma, who adopted the whitest girl you know.
I'm pressing X to doubt on this lot,
bro. It is so cringe. So they're all, oh my God, you got a boyfriend now, and it's like, when's he gonna turn? Well, he does. He sets her up in a bar with all his friends, puts them in costumes as Shriek to lure Unit out, and Kate Leftwich Stewart, who we used to like her. Yeah, a fucking insufferable bitch now. She does something terrible in this. He lures Unit out to live stream them because there are what they're doing is they're covering things. All the Cyberman attacks and the Dalek attacks and Christmas invasion, all that was all fake, put on by Unit to steal your tax dollars because they're working on something more evil. Now, before that, Ruby and our toxic white male villain, he's marked, right? So she has the antidote. She's all, it's a simple antidote. You just drink it and you'll sleep one night and you'll be fine. He doesn't take the antidote so he can, you think, to lure Unit out, but long story short, it's a fucking COVID episode. It's a COVID episode. It's state propaganda. That's exactly how it plays out. So he is a live streamer with millions of followers that Unit didn't know about. And he was independently rich already. He made some lie about his mom dying, but she actually lives in a beautiful house in Italy because he's already a successful content creator. And he goes viral for standing up to Unit. And everybody's like, oh, I stand up with this guy. He's a Chad. He's a good one. And it's basically COVID. It's the entire COVID thing. It's all about because he didn't take that antidote. And Unit, it ends up he turns into a comic book villain, but the caricature of what Russell T. Davies and this writer think YouTubers and podcasters are, because the villain was a straight male streamer / podcaster.
Mm-hmm.
So in the end, Kate Leftwich Stewart, to prove a point, tells Unit to stand down and releases the monster to kill him. And it isn't. If it wasn't for Ruby, the monster would have killed him.
What?
Because he talked shit about her dad and said he was a fraud. And she's like, "I'm glad the doctor's not here because he would tell me not to do this." And
no.
Yeah. And she doesn't do anything to stop it. You think she could stop it? No, it's Ruby who goes and stops it, not Kate Leftwich Stewart. So it's so he ends up in jail. He got his arm bit off, and they reattached it. And the doctor materializes the TARDIS around him. And you think, okay, here's the point where the doctor is going to be the doctor, where he's like, you did some horrible things, but we're going to try to turn things around. Let's talk. Let's have a chat. No, they use the guy as a straw man. And the doctor once again goes, you know what your future is? Because you betrayed my friend and, you're just noise. I just go about my day trying to make people happy, but you're just noise and you're relentless. And we're just so tired, which is just pure projection from the uber progressive left. It's right.
Don't want any criticism. Down. Yeah.
And he still stands at the straight white male podcast. I completely reject you. I hate you. He's like, you want to know what your future is? You die in a prison cell, forgotten. That's the doctor's big speech.
Isn't that totally not what the doctor usually does?
Not unless
doesn't tend to threaten their future because he knows it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, of course, what he did with the Prime Minister back in 10 Days. Doesn't she look tired? That sort of approach. Also, clearly he's more than just noise. He caused a shit ton of problems for you.
And you reacted to him, so you're not noise if you
he did. He
materialized the TARDIS around him and have a fucking cry at him.
He doxed Unit. But the whole thing was an allegory for basically the state's view of free media and of YouTube and the podcast sphere and fucking Joe Rogan and all that. But it was also in relation to COVID because he refused to take his fucking antidote. And he spread misinformation based on it. And UNIT was just there to protect you. And in show it is, but you can't help but think it's the BBC talking about themselves and the government going, I mean, we're just here to protect you. You need to trust the science.
I don't want to like lock it off completely as a line that might work in a different context or whatever. That one you mentioned about the you die in a prison or whatever, but I can only see this as written by Russell. So just the bitterness, you know, like I've decided as the writer that your future is that you're alone and miserable.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I mean, like I didn't, you know, you don't. Maybe I'll put the clip up on Twitter. You got to hear the speech in context, and it just plays off bitter. It plays off like, trust the science. We are the state. We are the authoritative. Don't listen to these little plebs, you know. And they made him a straw man. That's all they did. They made him a straw man. So when you hear the doctor's speech at the end, you're like, what the fuck?
Dude, look. Yeah. Where is the self-awareness?
There is none. There is none. I told you they just think they're right and the rest of the world is dumb. Most dangerous people on the planet, by the way.
Yeah.
Or people who just, I'm right. I woke up this morning right. Completely right about everything.
I'm completely right. And I just get money to do what I want, which validates my belief in myself that I'm doing correct because I'm being rewarded for it. Take away Disney's funding. Take away the funding of the BBC because defund the BBC because it's a piece of fucking shit. And you have to raise your own money to tell this kind of thing. You'll get nowhere. Nowhere.
And the doctor has shown more sympathy, and I'm not kidding, to the Master, to the Daleks, to the Cybermen. Like he's even tried to talk to the weeping fucking angels.
Yeah, but this guy's like fantastic, Gary. Come on.
Yeah. He was white and straight.
Yep.
And he had goo on him.
He got goo. He got gooed on him.
He got splooged. Green splooged.
He had Shooty's finger in his bum. What the fuck is it? What the fuck is this shit show anyway? What is it? What is it?
I appreciate your commitment, Gary. You're seeing it through to the end.
I'm seeing it. Well, this is the last season, so I'm like, I gotta watch. I mean, but like, holy shit. I just think back to those Jody days. It's like, how could it get worse than this? They managed with Russell T Davies writing.
We truly do have to put like an actual punishment on anyone saying that about anything, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
It is pretty crazy. Guys.
Yeah.
I got I got an exciting reveal for you.
What's that?
I'm going to show you. Number one.
Oh.
Could you just do us a favor, Morley? Because you have such a beautiful roasted coffee type of a voice.
What?
Could you just read what the top of this poster says?
So this is the tagline of the film labeled The Thunderbolts, and it is not super, not heroes, not giving up.
Could you tell me how many super soldiers are in this poster?
Well, to be absolutely clear, because some people don't know, it is 3.
Correct.
On the poster there.
Yes.
The other 3 have all got Yelena's got Black Widow training, Taskmaster has Black Widow training, and then Ghost has no training, as far as I'm aware.
She worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. They mentioned she worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. That's it.
Yes, she did. They forced her to be an assassin at some point. Sorry, that is the history. So I guess you could say S.H.I.E.L.D. agent training. That is the team. But yes, the other 3 are super soldiers. One has a metal arm.
Yeah, so there's 6 of them, and one of them got killed in the first 3 seconds of the film. And 3 of them are literal super soldiers with super serum inside of them. Not super.
Well,
do they ever think?
And actually, wait, yeah, you're right. Because not super when we've got 3 absolutely super, but possibly
Yes.
4. I would even say 5 because Taskmaster's got basically
mimicking.
Yeah, the mimic powers are superpowers, and then Ghost can go through fucking walls. I would consider that a superpower.
I would consider that probably one of the most powerful ones.
It's insanely powerful if you know how to use it. And then not heroes. Well, Walker's a hero, and I won't hear anything different.
Did nothing wrong.
Yep.
Bucky, I'm happy calling him a hero. He was mind controlled.
Yes, absolutely.
And then
wouldn't you say also Red Guardian was a hero of Russia?
That one's a bit tougher because he was undercover sabotaging American interests. So from our perspective, he's a villain.
Not a hero.
Yeah. Ghost is a villain. It's fair. Taskmaster and Yelena, both of them have recently been free of their mind control. So it's really up to them as to what exactly they are.
Well, and then she went off to go assassinate people.
Of her own free will.
Not a hero. Of her own free will. Killed a bunch of innocent security guards in a facility.
Yeah, which, by the way, because we did a 9-hour fucking discussion on this thing, by the way, we went into detail for anybody who knows anything about the MCU, which at this point I wouldn't blame you if you know nothing. But all of these characters are essentially not what they were in their most recent continuity.
Yep.
If you remember, post Natasha's death, Yelena's quite a funny girl. She's having some jokes, messing around, and being like, "I'm gonna get that Hawkeye because he's a bad man. He killed my sister." And she has some banter with Kate Bishop. People said it was like, oh, such a really funny scene in the elevator, whereas I was just like, man, this feels inappropriate, but I guess they want to commit to Yelena being kind of funny about everything. And then, this film opens with her basically saying, like, I want to die. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, and she's...
or is she bored? Or am I just bored?
She's just self-aware about being in the MCU. This is the only escape. But in any case, there's that. No offense, but Sebastian Stan didn't even show up.
No.
He was not interested in this film.
Not at all.
No. Bucky, absolutely nothing. Red Guardian has also been altered. He was only in it for the glory and to serve Russia and to serve Dreykov. That was his whole thing. And if you remember, he was proud of his daughters for killing as many people as they can. He was just like your legend, drenched red, Never really mentioned much about his love of saving the innocent in Black Widow.
No.
But that became suddenly front and center in this film. And I was like, okay, we're making him a good guy, I guess, if you want. They do mention his glory interest, but I just thought it was funny that it was like that was really the main thing for him. Was I
want to be on front of Wheatie Box while I shout my lines.
But he also, because he has a few moments of civilian saving, which it was funny to see that in a Marvel movie. It's been a while, It's like, oh look, they care about people. Ghost is the funniest one to me. They're she's as if she's a fucking hero. She was the bad guy. And there was no development between then and now other than they stopped it from flooping as much. That's all.
I swear to God, every line she says, which isn't many, she gets a line every 30 minutes in the film, is literally just to piss over John Walker.
Yeah, that's it. It's always snark. I actually laughed in cinema, not with the film, of course, when a lot of them realize Yelena's gone into the void. And then she says, we've got to go save her. I was like... Were you what? Why do you care? Who even are you? What is Ghost's character? It's just like she's a good guy. You're like, oh, and just for reference, a lot of people forget Lawrence Fishburne was like her surrogate father in Ant-Man 2. Yeah, and he even stops helping her at one point because he thinks that she's gone way too far in hurting people. She's the bad guy. She's very self-interested. Yes, at the end, Michelle Pfeiffer gives her flume powers that fix her wibbliness, but I don't think that means she's automatically a hero now. And then, of course, bottom of the barrel comes in Task Manager, who, what can you say? Have you guys heard, the pieces of information that are coming out about Task Manager?
Yes.
It's rather interesting. In fact, in this video, because I don't care about what happens in this video broadly, but Olga Kurylenko is in this sequence. She's just on the left. You see her briefly at one point. And I thought it was so sad that they're basically, as a team, celebrating this franchise, this launch, and that they've become the new Avengers from Thunderbolts. they're tearing off the name Thunderbolts as being like, that's what we were, and look, we're actually the new event. She was never even a Thunderbolt.
No.
She just got
She
shot.
didn't even make it.
That was it. I don't really care that much at all, but simultaneously, seems a bit rude. It's just,
Well, her character was meant to have, which you're probably alluding to, her character was meant to have a much more busy role in the film with the rest of the people. And then they decided, they were just going to kill her off at the beginning.
The writer said that he recognized basically everything from his script on screen, except he had a whole storyline with, I forget her name, like her actual name in universe, but Taskmaster was supposed to be just a good guy along with the rest of them. And then she was supposed to randomly forget because of the damage to her brain and stuff, the current situation. So she would continually go after Walker because she was sent to kill him. And they'd all, as a team, have to remind her, like, no, we're friends, we're working together. That was just going to be an element. And apparently there was like a bonding thing planned between her and Ghost because they were both experimented on as children. And so all of that lines up. And the guy said, yeah, and I guess they just decided to kill her instead. Like, what? It's so weird, man. And a lot of people have started to theorize now. It's like, did something happen? Did she piss him off? Or, what's going on?
Yeah. I
should not fuck one of the producers.
I didn't hear of major reshoots with this or budget overruns or anything with this movie. I think it's $180-200 million budget, although it's really difficult to see in it. I think that's probably legit. Yeah, there's some stuff I liked, but dude, the movie just stops. They don't defeat the villain. They say it in the end credit scene. By the way, end credit scene shot on the set of Doomsday and directed by the Russo brothers, and not the director of the fucking movie.
Very obviously, too. It's like
you can see the Russo brothers, their little shaky cam shit that they do.
Yeah. Well, and their dialogue, there's like a stark difference. Apparently, alternatively as well, that originally, like, there was an idea for Walker was going to be the bad guy in this film.
Yeah.
Which I was just like, for fuck's sake, make it even worse. Why don't you? It's
the guy who's done nothing wrong.
Should I change the name of my video now to New Thunder? I mean, I don't care. But John Talks made a great point on this on Twitter. He said, this is like me changing the name of my video to get more views, which doesn't help, by the way.
On that, if you want to play that part as to show people this is part of the marketing campaign. They've been doing this all over the place.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even tear off properly.
It doesn't even pop that much.
Yeah, you see on the left there she is in the pink.
And she's like, "You motherfucker!" I hope she got a full fucking paycheck. By the way, I like her as an actress. Too. Yeah, I like her. She's cool. She just shouldn't have been Taskmaster.
Well, so like obviously, if we were handed this shit, you just strip her of the stupid Taskmaster stuff and just make her a secret agent or whatever. At this point, and then you can build an actual character, and then we can get the real Taskmaster in. They could have done that, but instead they just had her be the one that gets executed after you see her face for 1 second.
They're so stupid. Like Muse, Taskmaster, good villains that you could work with on a street level while you're waiting for your bigger galactic villain, like really fucking good villains. Now let's just throw them in. Let's make one a girl and the other one a fucking incel.
We talked about it around. Like, how cool would it have been for Taskmaster to be in all the phases as a hired gun for a lot of different bigger villains? Yeah. And like every time it gets out of hand, Taskmaster fucks off. He's just like, nah, this isn't working. Bye.
I don't know. I mean, Taskmaster is seriously dangerous.
Yes,
exactly.
Seriously dangerous because it's like the photo, whatever you want to call it, that just immediately makes them see the fighting style. That's why you can just go crazy with them. So you can put them up against fucking Captain America. You can put them up against fucking loads of people. And it would just be such a crazy fight because the mimicry of it would just be would make for a really cool style for a start. Not in that we saw that particularly well in the Black Widow movie, because that was one of the biggest piles of fucking dog shit that's ever been fucking released. But yeah, they're a serious threat. This time, they're just like walking casually and get shot in the head after saying one line.
I laughed out loud when that. I'm like, yes.
So on the note, go ahead.
No, if they would have done that and just killed everybody, and the only people left were Bucky and John Walker, I'd have been fine.
Could have been a good movie.
Yeah.
So on the note of this whole like new Avengers, like they're clearly trying to boost the film by referencing the Avengers. I would have cautioned them. It's like you're gonna want to spend every last penny of credit of Avengers on Doomsday, not at all on this. Like, leave this where it is.
It wasn't a last minute decision because the asterisk was introduced really early, so they were always planning to do this. But Ryan mentioned this, and I completely agree that I think they might like it might have been like a little later, like you wait a little later and then you give it a bump when the movie's been in out for 4 weeks or something like that.
I'd commit to Thunderbolts, honestly, and then the new Avengers shit is just something if you watch.
Well, it's at the end. It becomes the new Avengers at the end, but titling it that like this is, I can't say unprecedented. I don't know every movie for the history 100 years of Hollywood, but I can't remember. I know titles have been changed due to intellectual property rights last minute, but like have they Avengers? Been? How? Well, Marvel's Avengers.
Because in the UK we have the Avengers.
Yep.
John Steed and Emma Peel. So it had to get changed here. Avengers Assemble, we had to call it.
But I can't recall what did X-Men 2 go to X-Men 2, X-Men United while it was in theaters? I mean,
yeah.
Okay. I mean, but that's United. That's X-Men United. You're still calling it X2. You know.
No, yeah, everyone still does, yeah.
Yeah. But I like it doesn't happen often. We'll just say it reeks of desperation at this point. That's the whole point, is like doing it this quick. Like you just finished your first fucking weekend. They made this name change Sunday, right? So some people were getting mad about spoilers. It's like, I didn't think they do. We talked about this, like that's what it possibly, but I mean, that's fucking crazy, but they did it. And the reason they did it is because it's underperforming, and whether, doesn't matter what as yours truly or Mahler thinks about the movie. Some people are liking it, right? So I'll say some people are liking it. I think that's a reality. And I think this is an example of fatigue. Marvel, you can call it Marvel fatigue, if you want to call it that. But it's not as bad as Captain African American. It's bad.
I was going to go further than what you said. I've seen a shit ton of love for this film, baffling amounts of love. I've just been like, wow, okay.
Yeah. And fair enough. If you like it, you like it. And a lot of people clearly like it, and it's still not doing good.
No, it's not. Well, in actual fact,
somebody said stop fatigue real quick. It's like, I don't make the rules. I just make the observations. Like, this is fatigue.
This is my absolute
and this is self-admitted Marvel fatigue. They admit it themselves. There's a whole article on it. So, if Superman is a fucking great movie, it'll do well. It'll do well. It all comes down to good storytelling. But when you have like a Marvel movie that a lot of people feel is competent enough and good enough to enjoy, some people count it 7 out of 10, and that's great. And it's underperforming behind Captain African American, a movie that I can admit that Thunderbolts is better than. It's
in 200 plus more theaters than Captain America.
Yes,
as well.
And it's in more theaters, and it sold less tickets.
Well, the Sunday numbers, by the way, yesterday were adjusted down. They were predicted at 20 million on the Sunday, but when the numbers came in, that 20 million got reduced down to 17.8. So it lost 2.2 million on the weekend, which took it down even further. The Monday should be in soon. But as regards to where it fits on the ladder, it's not good. I'll just expand this for you. But I actually have this tabbed out at the opening. So that's what's coming front and center here. So your opening, Avengers Endgame, biggest opening. Spider-Man No Way Home number 2, Infinity War number 3. So, even Deadpool Wolverine out last year, 211.5 million. So you gotta go down and down and down
and down
and down
and down
and down. And you're literally down to the point where you're dealing with the Incredible Hulk, which adjusted for inflation would be higher. Captain America, the First Avenger, which you adjusted for inflation, would be higher. Same with Thor, adjusted for inflation would be higher. So even the Eternals, actually, if you probably adjusted this for inflation, it would be very close. So it's literally right down with the Thunderbolts, Ant-Man, which again would go up a wee bit as well. That would actually might go above. But I believe if you adjust everything for inflation, it only beats the Marvels. That's it.
That would be second lowest. Marvel's back, baby.
Well,
because it beat the second lowest, which where did
Shang-Chi, they're just beating it out.
Yeah.
Well, if it's tracking like Shang-Chi, then it's dead. There's nothing else to it.
It's got a weekend, right? I don't think anything's coming. Like, dude, the release schedule is so jacked this year. So it's got a weekend, and then Mission Impossible and Lilo and Stitch come out on the same
right,
weekend.
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah. So if you go down,
it's got a week. It's got a week, and we'll see if word of mouth. I mean, I guess we can tell today, right? We'll see what that Monday box office was.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for the update for the Monday box office. But unless it holds, unless its drop off isn't as severe.
What I find remarkable about it is, unlike the Marvels and Captain Falcon and some of the others, it does seem to be about something. And I was like, wow, that's really impressive for Marvel these days. Like they actually had the story, bind around a core theme. For the record, I thought it was terrible. I'm just saying that
that's just the problem, though.
No, you're right. Like they have not been able to do a coherent narrative like at all. Even in WandaVision, where it looked like there was one. It's not. And in Loki, where a lot of people think there is one, there isn't. Like at all.
Pick some of these because they say this is like the first really amazing and fair attempt at doing mental illness in the MCU. And I was like, no, they've done it a few times.
Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
WandaVision was explicitly about her mental state.
Yeah, it's been done. It's just been done since the latest thing that's been done because it's the latest product.
And they did it just so poorly. If they'd really run with it, and I don't think they should have run with everybody. Oh, we've all got mental health problems. Oh, shut up. If they'd run with like a specific character or two specific characters like Yelena and Sentry kind of bonding because of something like that, then there could have been something there. But it was just like you had to just lie about John Walker.
People who like this movie would tell you that's what happened, by the way. What you just laid out as like a better alternative, they'd say that is what it is.
No, it's not.
Because I'm with you. Well, I'm annoyed because another thing they'd mentioned was they did originally have journeys for each of them in the void.
Yep.
But that they decided like this would take away too much focus from Yelena and Bob. And for me, it's like the big regret there is just Walker deserved to have closure.
Yeah, you set it up. Like at least with Walker, there should have been some closure. But they didn't.
He got nothing. Bucky got nothing.
Well, so I would have hated it still as a choice, but I think it's especially rude and broken that he doesn't get the generic scene we all expect where it's over, we did it, bad guy defeated, we show a scene where Yelena and Bob are hanging out on some porch or whatever, talking about things, and then we cut to a visual of Walker knocking on a door opens, and there's his wife and the kid, and he, he's looking down, he looks up at them, and then we cut. The idea being that he's going to fix that relationship. Yeah. They didn't even give him that.
Nope.
They didn't give him anything.
No, she's gone. She's gone. She's taken the kid.
Last we hear is her saying, "You're trash and your family know it too," or whatever. Like, you're a piece of shit. So, obviously, the scriptwriter just didn't care at all about Walker and let him fucking. That was the end of the storyline for him, which I thought was really fucking rude. But ultimately, like, making him a shitty dad and a shitty husband was already, you've broken him from Falcon the Winter Soldier of all things. Like, you've already taken an aspect that was not at all the case, because you know, his loved one was like his rock when the government failed him and the people failed him, right? Like,
yeah. And what
so
happened to Bucky and Cap? Fake Cap, Falcon.
Oh well,
Cap.
because
they were fucking boyfriend in fucking Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Ah, well, they gave us this throwaway line. They're not on good terms now. There you go. Easy.
There it is.
That's what we call writing.
Writing.
Cinema.
And so, yeah, like, it bugs me to no end that we still have to. We knew this was going to happen, but it's just so typical, isn't it? It's like, what did they do to Walker? It's like, they made him a shit dad and a shit husband. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
What did they do to Red Guardian? They made him a shit dad. It's like, oh,
yeah.
Why? And you're like, well, they don't know what else to write.
Bob had a shit dad.
What did they do to Ghost? Yep. She was a victim. What did they do to Yelena? She was a victim. It's just like, okay. Madam Hydra not being scared of Sentry when he's got her pinned up against the wall. Just, you know, just they cannot do.
Throat punching a soldier. She throat punted as laughed.
By the way, I want it noted because I know a lot of people felt that Walker was just explicitly assassinated, but however it gets through, it got through. He's the most heroic in this film out of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
He saves everyone's lives several times, and he puts his life on the line to do so. There's a part where Sentry throws all of Bucky's bullets back at him, and Walker tanks them with the shield.
Tanks them with the shield, yeah.
If he hadn't have done that, Bucky'd be dead. But Bucky doesn't care. None of them care. Ghost nearly dies, and Walker drags her back into the car and protects her with a shield. Nobody cares. Nobody says thank you. He protects all of them in the car when they're getting blitzed by machine gun fire.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. He saved them all in the elevator. Nobody cares.
Nobody cared.
You know what, Gary? It reminds me of the Xander conversation that was happening a few months back or whatever, where everyone was like, he's like the worst person in the world. It's like, what about all those times that he put his life on the line to save people? It's like, oh, who cares?
Okay. He said mean things.
Listen, okay, words speak louder than
actions. He
killed
a terrorist. How dare he?
Actions don't mean anything. It's weird.
Hassan Piker is very upset about that scene.
So yeah, you know, no matter what, because I don't know if you saw, there was a viral post. I sent it to Fringy, so it was so funny. It was like, how is it that people like Walker? Did you not get the point? He's the bad guy. And I was like, you fucking mock. You just follow suit. Just whatever the music tells you.
Well, that tweet I sent you about you know, the fucking Stan tweet or bot, whatever the fuck it was, about Yelena is so much better than Natasha. It has that I looked at it yesterday.
Gaslighting.
8.5 million impressions, and he had about 700. Yeah,
it's in my Black Widow video. You can go and it's like near the end where I talk about how like the plan here is clearly to just juice out anything worthwhile in Black Widow and plop it into Yelena. Like, whatever you liked about this one, move it over to this one, because Scarlett Johansson's going out. She's done. But hopefully Florence Pugh will be with us for the next decade, so we'll prefer that you like her. And that tweet you sent, it was like the encapsulation of that. It's like, you know, I never even liked Natasha, but I love Yelena. She's like a full-on, detailed, layered character. She's actually interesting. It's like, oh my God.
Get out of here. 8.5 million impressions. 700 followers.
Natural, completely natural. Completely natural. Even like videos, tweets where I've got like 12,000 likes on and shit like that might be pushing like 1 million impressions, maybe.
Yeah.
I like the strays that Captain Falcon took as well. At the end, he's so petty, he is suing them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Copyright. That is the saddest fucking thing the superhero Captain Falcon. What the fuck? Fine. If you want to write him that way, fine. You do you.
It's not
suing them for copyright. It's pathetic.
And then they're just there going, nobody thinks of us as the real Avengers anyway.
Fine. I don't know why they agreed. She tried to kill them. And they're like, yeah,
she tried to kill them. Well, now I own you, and they don't.
She tried to kill them, and they were there to take her in. And the only reason they didn't take her in is because she said, I'm going to call you Avengers. And they went, oh, yeah, okay. We'll be Avengers, and you can stay out of prison.
When Yelena said, we own you, it's like, you're in her building. She could just kill all of you whenever she wants.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You own her.
They are not heroes. I will agree with that. They are very, very, very selfish, narcissistical villains.
There's like a handful of tiny atoms in the DNA of this movie that I do like, though. One of them
I think there could have been a story. I think there could have been a story there. And if the characters were written like actual characters and not fucking dumbass Marvel intersectional crap, then we could have had a decent dynamic. And I think they could have done something pretty good with Sentry that they didn't. So it's kind of frustrating because you see, I think Florence Pugh is a very good actress. I think Wyatt is a good actor. Even Sebastian Stan can act if he wants to. He clearly didn't want to in this film.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fucking shit! He just had a phone stuck to his ear, dialing it in. And even Ghost, you could tell that she can act.
If you let her.
They gave him nothing. They gave him. I don't even think any of the dialogue came across as in any shape, way, or form realistic. It's like they literally just went, "I'm saying a zinger. Are you gonna say a zinger? Me? Well, here's my zinger. You got a zinger to follow up with." Just like. Nobody's fucking talking like a human.
That's just standard Marvel affair to be.
Oh, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I nearly fell asleep halfway through the film.
It was extremely annoying. No one took anything seriously, except every once in a while, John Walker did, and they'd all make fun of him for it.
And and then he'd get fucking shot down.
If ever Red Guardian isn't in the scene, John Walker was the replacement punching bag. So he was up until the introduction of him. He still kind of was. When she shat all over her dad, and Walker was like, "Hey, go easy on him," and then she shat on him for saying that. I was like, "What?" I need to sit the writers down for Falcon the Winter Soldier and for this movie and be like, "Why did you think I wouldn't like him? I just don't get it. Like, what are you doing?"
Well, he's a straight white man.
He's a good person.
Yeah, but he's
a better person than all the others.
But the other one's black and he's white, so.
It's it follows so well, right? That they're horrible at writing heroes to the point where their heroes are monsters. And it's like, oh, well, if that were true, then they must be so horrible at writing antagonists that they accidentally create heroes. And it's like, we have our example.
And
you know what you said you laughed
when Ghost said she wanted to go save lives.
There was one point in the film where I couldn't stop laughing out loud in the cinema.
And what was it?
So when they defeated Sentry by hugging him, and I just couldn't stop laughing.
So that shit just annoyed me because do you remember when she first speaks to him, he says there's no use in fighting. And it's like, oh, okay, we're doing like the apathy, depression is a void. All it is just the relinquishing of your own action. You just sink into a depressing nothingness. I was like, okay, so the key to this is fighting your way out. I gotcha. And then of course they're all trapped by these big strong metal restrictions. And I was like, okay, yeah, you gotta fight your way through those too. And then he starts fighting the void version of himself. And I was like, there he goes, he's doing it. I was sitting there like, yeah, generic way that we can solve this problem. And I think there's even like a line or two where they're like, yeah, he's doing it. And then the building starts to crack apart. And I was like, there you go, he's destroying the void. I guess he's got this. And then one of the characters is like, no, actually, that's bad. And I was like, what? It's like, no, that's just what the void wants. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Why would like the lack of experience, feeling, all of apathy and stuff, why would it want you to fight?
Because anger is an emotion. It's not apathy.
Yeah, that's why I was like, this doesn't work. And then it's like, no, the true solution is to hug him. I was like, what? So the solution isn't even based on what Bob is feeling or doing. It's just other people hugging him. I was like, that's crap.
Yes, it is.
And I also, as far as I'm concerned, like, it's just not that we should have expected anything else, but it's just such a childish sort of view on this subject. Like I said, shouldn't have expected anything else, but still.
It is.
I wouldn't have been surprised if it ended up that this film was sponsored by Pfizer.
No,
Because it felt like you just need SSRIs. That's all you need.
Take, for example, the message this film is sort of giving off is like, always surround yourself with people who not only love you, but can, talk to you about your best qualities, and you will be able to escape depression, apathy, the void, etc. And it's like, what about one of your own characters in this story, Walker, who was facing something so daunting that even be surrounded, you wrote this, he had his kid and his wife, and he still couldn't get out of it. I guess fuck him. Like,
Walker's story is, this is a man who was given the role of taking over from Steve Rogers as Captain America. He had earned it through merit, through his service. He wasn't just given it because he's fucking a white dude. And he was meant to do this job without having the super serum put into him. So he's a regular man who's been put in to take over from a super soldier who's trying hard to work with Falcon and Bucky, who just dismiss him at every single opportunity.
Leave him for
every
dead.
And to the point where Walker has to go in unprepared to a fight, gets taken unprepared for a fight, and has his partner killed.
Well, and don't forget how fucking frustrating it is for him to be Captain America. He's defeated by a little ginger girl in a fight.
Ugh.
Obviously stressing him the fuck out that he can't stop these terrorists, as when Cap obviously would have. Hence why when he takes the serum, like a lot of people wanted that framed as a villainous move. When I was watching, I was like, I get it completely. It's
an equalizer. He needs the equalizer.
He's trying to do his job.
Yes. I will take the serum. I will take it to be able to defeat these fucking flag smashers. And then his partner gets killed. He kills one of the terrorists who was involved.
Yeah.
They didn't directly kill the guy, but he's been involved in the bombings. He's been involved in the deaths that have occurred from that. He's been involved in everything.
For his execution, he tried to set him up to be killed.
Mm-hmm.
He did toss a fucking big concrete slab thing at him.
Yeah.
So the idea that he's just some innocent, oh god, that whole conversation, I can't believe it's still going to this fucking day. It's insane. I've seen people be like, don't you understand? He did it very publicly, and that is the bad. You don't want the world seeing Captain America execute a person. But I was just like, I don't know. How do you think that would go over if it was a terrorist who had his partner? All the information would come out eventually. And yeah, I think there would be a discussion over it. But if we all knew this guy had done that on TV, let's say, and it was because his best friend of many years was just executed by these people, I think all of us would be like, I get it. I understand.
We were two regular men that had to go up against enhanced human beings because fucking Falcon and Bucky wouldn't help either.
No, they were pieces. Well, you say they wouldn't help. They eventually then catch up with him 5 minutes later and
to take the shield off him,
break his arm, and steal his shit. It's insane.
You got to do better, John Walker.
And then, of course, the government turn their back on him. All of the people, it's just they take his pension off him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely fucking insane. Dishonorable discharge, and he's kicked out. Then we get a scene of him going to Lamar's family to explain his death. Again, another scene where it's like, how are you going to make me not like this person? It's not possible.
Yeah.
And then he comes through in the finale and helps Sam and Bucky out and saves the senators from being killed by Freckle Jesus.
And Falcon still talks to him like shit.
And Bucky. They both do that shit. And then, of course, being like, don't call her a terrorist, all that stupid shit where he wouldn't fight her, Falcon. Like, no, it's the correct thing not to.
Yeah, had to get Sharon Carter to kill her.
Absolutely insane. storyline. And you know what's funny?
So what's the difference between Sharon Carter killing Freckled Jesus and Walker killing a terrorist?
Well, if you remember, Falcon was pissed off with Sharon for doing that when she was bleeding out and she just saved his life. Remember, Carly had the gun on Falcon, and then Sharon shot her dead. And then Falcon was like pissed off with her for this while she's holding her intestines in, you know? I just unbelievably fucking awful TV show. And that's one of the early, phase 4 things.
Yes, very hateful. And let's not forget Yelena murdered a bunch of people post having her brain controlled, and only decided to become a hero because she got a little more job satisfaction with the power of friendship. She does, and it just makes her feel better. She doesn't want to make up for the red on her ledger, which is what Scarlet Black, I was going to say Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow is done. She's not, she's actually resigned to, this isn't going to make me feel better, but this is like the best I can do from now on. And Bucky tries to give that speech in the movie, but it doesn't really relate to Yelena. And she just looks like, well, I'm doing this because I feel sad, so I'll be a hero now.
It's not even clear. Like they invent this thing of, she's sad because when she was a little girl, she essentially facilitated the death of another little girl, and it's kind of just it's like okay, as Walker said, by the way, which they make fun of him for. He's like, well, at least you were a child, so you couldn't have known like the nuances of all these decisions. He basically says that, and then they're all just like,
I know,
shut up, Walker, that sort of thing. And it's like, okay. Again, him having, I was actually going to say, as much as he is the most assassinated of all the characters, he's still my favorite.
Yep,
in the
he's
movie.
Still in there. Yep.
Goes to show, and yeah, Wyatt Russell does deserve praise because I really enjoy him as Walker. I don't know what the fuck he's going to be doing in Doomsday.
Probably getting belittled.
Probably, yeah.
Or killed. Or
in
killed.
Any case,
I wouldn't be surprised if they
if they kill Shang-Chi, it'll be my favorite movie of all time.
Well, we got 60 plus characters. Did you see that tweet that was like they're currently filming Magneto versus Doctor Doom? And it's just like, isn't that just a sign of the times that you have like multiple hundreds of millions from Hollywood gonna depict Ian McKellen's Magneto versus Doctor Doom? You're like, holy fuck, that sounds hype. It's like, no, we're in 2025. It's like, oh, that sounds disastrous. Like,
oh god, that sounds horrific.
Oh well. Remember when stories mattered and we were interested in the story and the
Once
characters?
Upon a time.
Now let's look at the scene. We're doing this. It's desperation. Okay, say these movies like make the massive billions of dollars that they're gonna need to now. What does it fix? It fixes the same thing that No Way Home fixed. It fixes the same thing that Deadpool and Wolverine fixed. Nothing. Because now you're introducing old X-Men to introduce your new X-Men, which Kevin Feige has a 10-year plan for now. It's like
bullshit.
Your plans have not been. I mean, there's nobody who could really replace him. But the conversations of like Kevin Feige to do that article that came out, which pretty much puts all the blame on Disney, which is an interesting strategy, but that's what they did. He was just being a company man. And he was spread too thin, but like he could have said no to all this shit. He got rid of Ike Perlmutter, dude. He got rid of a board member, the guy who used to own Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
so I would say he's got some power.
Imagine they announced Kathleen Kennedy's replacing him.
What if he replaces Kathleen Kennedy?
They switch jobs just for the fuck of it.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh my god.
Kathleen
which
Kennedy
franchise is worse off at that point? It's probably Marvel.
Jesus Christ. No, but I mean, like Rob Liefeld obviously has an axe to grind because he wasn't invited to a fucking party, which is super fucking petty. But I am all for him just roasting. He is roasting the Thunderbolts box office. I got my water heater guys here. I'll be right back. Sorry to cut off so quick. I'll be back to contribute.
Okay. Wow. Okay, that was.
So you saw Thunderbolts then, obviously.
Yeah, at a cinema.
Was that your homework for FNT this month or this week?
Yes, last week. Yeah, that was my homework. But I wanted to see it anyway because I wanted to discuss it. And because I didn't have high hopes for it. I'm not going to pretend I had high hopes for it. But I watched that film and I just thought, this is a Saturday afternoon TV movie.
I just thought it was utter shit, but sure. Like I don't disagree.
I mean, because no one's going to watch it, no one's going to be paying attention to it. It's literally just there to fill a space. I thought it was utter crap. And when I came out and I heard some people going, "Oh, do you know what? I fucking like that." I am honestly thinking, how? I'm not even trying to be, provocative or anything like that. I'm literally,
I get
how?
you.
The dialogue is some of the worst fucking dialogue I think I've heard in a movie. It was fucking nonsensical. The females it was typical Marvel fare. Females, great. Males just get shat on. They're a joke. And even if they don't want to shit on Bucky, we just make him have nothing. We'll just give him absolutely fucking nothing at all. Apart from that one scene.
Clearly forgetting everyone's fucking power levels. Having Yelena put up with walkers, like assault physically.
She could not.
It's so balked, like in terms of them understanding it. But there's a part where he goes toe to toe with Taskmaster, which when I was watching it, I was like, Taskmaster doesn't have any super strength. Taskmaster's just well trained. So this is, Walker should be annihilating her. And they do like a shield, block, clash, and then he punches her and she goes flying across the room. And I was like, yeah, like that's what should fucking happen. But
like when he was on the floor and she was on top of him, Yelena was on top of him and she had the widow bites going and it was preventing him. I'm just like, hi, did you guys see the scene in Captain America and the Winter Soldier where he's in the fucking elevator?
That's true.
And he's getting prodded left, right, and center with these sticks, and he's still fucking kicking the shit out of them.
And they're all burly men. That was
burly big men.
Yeah.
Not a fucking 100 fucking $120 woman on top of him.
Remember when we were looking at the trailer, that shot was in there, but there was no
bites.
Yeah. So that was awful. I consider it an upgrade that she's electrocuting him, but I'm with you on that. I'm not sure that should have been able to stop him. I think they underestimate just how fucking strong Walker is, even though they portray him as super fucking strong in the movie. Like his jump in the elevator, he does a fucking Hulk jump.
Yes.
And then
comes tumbling down.
Yeah, because funny, he's what a mess, what a retard. Look at him.
Even though if you're jumping like that, he could have just fucking whacked his shield into the fucking wall and he'd be fine.
Yeah, nobody's stupid, so and then they can all.
Oh, okay.
That big piece of debris, he held it solo. And I was like, that's the kind of strength you're dealing with. The idea that Yelena could stop him is like, no. It's not ever going to happen.
He would smash through you like fucking hot knife through butter, sweetheart. And there's three fucking super soldiers in that group.
Yep. There's no diversity of power. They're just rejects. Like why they picked Ghost is such a strange decision. Why Baron Zemo wasn't in it, which he could have fit in a movie like this perfectly.
Yeah.
There was a good idea in there that never happened, and it just ended up being like, I guess, the best of the worst. And I'm talking about direct Disney Marvel movies and not gimmicky movies.
Well, because when people were saying it's like the best one, and I'm like, yeah, probably, but that's like we're talking real meaningless stuff here. Like better than the Marvels. Like,
remember how fucking Bucky took out fucking Black Widow?
Yeah, they went toe to toe for a bit, but she very much realized she ain't defeating him. It's not happening.
Yeah, she got fucking by the end of that fight though, she was fucking limping out of there.
Yep.
When he shot her as well. It's we'd still just got it's that time of the MCU where we could still take things seriously. This movie has so many moments that if they were taken seriously, I feel like they'd be upgraded significantly. But characters have to be fucking funny, don't they? They have to crack the jokes.
Well, that's just it. Just it's not Marvel humor. It's not Marvel quippy. It's dog shit writing. It's not funny. If
I mean,
you'd have more hits if you just let things sit. If you just let something lie. If you just let Yelena say at the beginning of the movie, do you know what? I don't know where the fuck I am. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing anymore. All I'm doing is killing and killing and killing, and it's eating me up inside, and it's making me a fucking hollow void. And I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where to go. And I sometimes think I just want to fall off this building and never stop myself. And then let that sit. Instead of going, or maybe I'm just bored.
Yeah, and you know, being like, are you even listening to me? I'm telling my story.
We're doing a skit now, man. Sat down, tied up.
Remember the we always reference it because it feels like it was just this one flicker and then it was never again done. But that's probably a fair worry. The first scene that Black Widow has with Hulk.
Oh, brilliant!
How serious that conversation gets, you know, very much. Yeah, and you that shot of the outside where all the soldiers are coming in with all the, and then she's like, stand down, and he's just smiling.
Alone.
What's funny is obviously he knows that he'd be able to take them all probably. It's not gonna be that hard. It's there's so much good shit in that one scene.
Because it's a really good scene. It shows the kind of negotiation come femme fatale aspect of Black Widow. She's trying to use her sensuality and her to kind of defuse him, to make him feel at ease. And then he just calls her straight out on it because he's not. Because believe it or not, Bruce Banner
is smart.
Mark Ruffalo is a very smart man. And so when he just does that one thing and she fucking shits herself.
Well, yeah, because we know she knows. She's seen the footage of the 2008 continuity, right? So she would know that's not something she can beat. Because remember, she's totally chill with all of the. I can't remember if they're Russians or not in the her opening scene where she's up on the chair. You know, they're threatening to toss her down a hole, and she's mostly chill about all of it. She doesn't care, and she's like, "This idiot's giving me everything I want," you know, all that stuff. But with Hulk, she has no strategy that she believes would get her out of that, so she's just terrified. Pulls the gun on him, even though it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
it's just like there's so much to appreciate.
Self-preservation. That was.
And we're still the idea that people are celebrating Thunderbolts as though we're anywhere near what the MCU could offer for free back in the day. I was saying this to drinkers. Like, do you remember when we used to get acting in the MCU? That was really cool. We used to get that for free in the sense of that wasn't something you'd have to point out as being shocking. But there's like one scene where Florence Pugh gets to act in this fucking movie. And that's about it. Obviously, Bucky has 0. Walker has 1 or 2 moments where I was like actually feeling something somewhat for him. But it was mostly because he has to fight the writers. I've said that's his hardest challenge, is that's the villain he has to defeat all the fucking time because they're desperate to ruin him. Ghost obviously doesn't get to act at all. Taskmaster doesn't get to act much at all.
I'm not even here for you, bang. And she's gone.
But Lewis Pullman, right? A lot of people's highlight. You know, I think he was good and everything. I just, again, like, it just feels like it could have been so much better. Why are we settling?
Yeah.
Well, yes. I mean, the whole like introduction of the Void, we barely see him in his costume, and it just gets resolved. Like, and that's why it felt like it just stopped as opposed to end. It's like, no, we need way more of this. Like, because it's interesting in the comics, but if you're going to take it on, you got to dedicate half the movie to it, not a scene.
Exactly.
Not a.
That's why you need to focus your characters, and to have Bob and Yelena as like the 2 broken ones, and just have, you know, it would have been a better film if it was just Yelena going, maybe having a mission to take out Bob. And then when she starts to realize what's going on, it ends up to become Yelena trying to extract Bob.
If we could go to Fantasyland and suggest a movie that would never be made, I would love Walker and Yelena to be the mains, and then Bob is the one they have to do the same sort of solution with. But, you know, in this case, Walker, I wouldn't have made it so he's I would have made it so that his relationship is doing fucking great, but that it's not enough to sort of bring him back to the man he was, because the whole world hates him, which he doesn't understand, right? And he's dishonorably discharged, which ruined his legacy. and he's constantly just thinking about the world that's been taken away from him and how he failed to be Captain America, quote unquote. And obviously you'd have the journey B that's like, you understand, like, everyone's saying you failed doesn't mean you did, and you have to give them the power to sort of say that is the man you are. You decide who you are. You fulfilled the boots of Captain America thoroughly. Obviously I would want that story. They'd never write that, but I'd want that to be the case, and that's what brings him out of it. And I've just tooled around with this because it sounds like a fun idea, even though I know it's generic and you've probably seen this in other stuff. It's just that they gave Bob his anti-Bob version, right? His shadow self.
It's Void,
Yummy and with it. But if he gets that, why didn't we get Walker and Yelena have their versions, right? And so I picture Yelena's would be, because they all have different ones. Yelena's would be like a husk. It's like this gray version of her that whenever she touches it, it's drawing energy. Like it's that kind of representation of apathy or depression. And then Walker's, I'd prefer be this like enraged, demonic Captain America, and that he views himself as like, I overstepped and I ruined my whole life by not giving Captain America the proper treatment or whatever. But the realization for both of them could be received by both of them seeing these versions of themselves and their insecurities. She could be like, you think that's what you were? Like, no, you were actually pretty functional. And I know they would never do this. I want to keep saying this. Like, they would never do it. But if Yelena was to tell John, like, what you did saved people, you made the right decisions, and you were doing that under immense stress. It's like, you really think, you may have like overstepped a bound, you may have made like one mistake, said the wrong word, taken the wrong step. It's like, that's amazing that you got that far, and you judged yourself against basically boots that can't be filled, being Steve Rogers. Like, you were never going to be him. You were John Walker, and you decide what happens. And then vice versa, he could say to hers, like, you should never feel that you're like a empty zombie. You get to control your life now. You had it all taken away from you by Dreykov. And basically the two of them build each other up.
A team building scene.
They destroy they destroy each other's shadow versions. I was thinking that they fight their own ones and they're losing, and then they trade.
Another movie with shadow
and they can
versions,
easily defeat each other's shadows, and then the two of them need to save Bob, while they're in the void. I was like, if that were the dynamic, because you don't need, it's like as said, you don't need this entire team, and then to not only have them, but to not give them anything. It's like, what's the fucking point? Refocus. And again, we're never ever going to give Walker any of this, but man, it would be a fucking way more interesting story.
It would, and you've put more thought into it than in what you just said than they ever did for this movie.
The only reason I'm compelled is because I still like Walker. He's like my favorite Disney Marvel character right now, because there isn't anyone else except Zemo, which is like,
well, he's both, they're
like a villain and an antagonist are my two favorite heroes right now.
Yeah, but I don't ever want to see Zemo again, because he's pretty much unscathed right now, and I want to keep it that way.
Yeah,
please. Even if they never released that hot toy that they had of him, which pretty gutted about.
Oh, I don't think we're getting any of ours right now. I think they'll all get delayed.
Well, when Black Widow came out, there was also Red Guardian hot toy.
Yeah,
but it didn't get enough pre-orders, and it got cancelled off.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not any of the Thunderbolts get it. If they do, I'll absolutely get John Walker though. Because he did, even though I got a third party John Walker, but he did nothing wrong.
And they're going to continue to they're going to continue to get annoyed that people like him, which I find fucking funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
But the people who are dealing with him try to overcorrect, or no, try to make him come across as whatever you want to say. The more he's actually going to be loved by fans, because their overcorrection will actually make him even more endearing to us.
Mm-hmm.
But look, now he's killed a whole cell of terrorists.
I know. It's like, yeah.
Look, he punched Yelena in the face.
Yes.
Why are you not booing him.
We had Ghost make fun of him. Don't you love Ghost making fun of him? You're just like,
Every comic book fan's been waiting for that their whole lives.
Yes, yeah. Oh, look, the bitch said something. The useless bitch who gets a line every 30 minutes said something about John Walker, even though she knows nothing fucking about shit. Why is John Walker not going, were you there? Do you not actually know what happened?
oh my god, yeah, it's
Hey, no, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
cut him off anyway. He says define innocent when she says you killed an
And they
innocent
just
man.
go,
Yeah, moving on. It's like, oh, you fucking cowards.
Yep.
You can't have that conversation. It'd be
Nope.
too difficult.
No, can't
But,
have that conversation. Sorry.
Yeah, Thunderbolts is a mess, but I have heard, I haven't seen the FNT coverage, but some of you guys on there liked it, right?
Jeremy liked it.
Jeremy liked it.
There you go.
I think
Quarter Black Garrett liked it.
yeah, Quarter Black thought it was all right. Quite liked
Yep.
it. Ryan, I don't quite know what Ryan's thoughts were.
Ryan didn't. He's basically he's kind of where I was at, where it's like it's not the worst thing, but it's not good.
Well, it's not the worst Marvel thing. I think there's been worse Marvel things, but that says nothing. When you're dealing with a bunch of 2 out of 10s for fucking so long.
Yeah, 5 out of 10 will look good.
I think 5's way too generous for this. I'd put this about 3.5, 4 at tops.
We settled on about 3 on you.
Yeah.
Is ya? That's a little lower than me. Okay, there you go.
I wouldn't put this at, because 5 to me means average, and this ain't anywhere close to fucking average. But no, is it better than Captain America 4? Yes, I would say so. But that's one of the worst Marvel films I have seen. And the annoying thing is, like, I do think people like Wyatt Russell and Florence Pugh and Pullman, they can act.
They can all act.
If they were given some good fucking material, and it wouldn't have taken a huge amount, there could have been something there. But fucking, was it whatever, Julia Louis-Dreyfus? Oh my
God.
fucking
God.
Christ.
What are you doing in that movie?
He was fucking
Get her
terrible,
the
dude.
fuck out of there. Fuck.
That has been universal from what I've seen, by the way. Everyone has noted, like, she had a real bad performance. I don't know. They're so cringeworthy. Someone's told her to do this, I'm guessing, because she's, oof.
It feels like they gave her 5 tins of Monster and told her to neck them and then come out and read her lines. I die like a fire! Die!
Wow, is she in the room with us right now?
Uncanny.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus, thank you. Thank
Well
you
done.
for making a personal
Well
show.
done.
That was her fucking every line. She wasn't chewing the scenery; she was screaming at the scenery.
So we'll see if it's got box office legs, but it just doesn't look like there's that much passion, even from the people who like it. They go, "Oh, it's all right, it's good."
What's
I think
funny,
this is.
as
Sorry,
you
go on,
mentioned,
Mommy, you go.
That 1-2 punch is coming. Like Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible. That's gonna eat up a lot of people who might consider going back to see Thunderbolts. You know,
Is Lilo this week and
No, they're the same weekend.
23rd? Oh, they're
Same
both on the
weekend.
23rd. Then is it?
Same weekend.
I think a lot of this
Poor
is
Mission Impossible is gonna get fucking crushed again, dude. It's just
by
unless it
Lilo
becomes
and
like,
Stitch.
yeah, it's just gonna be-
yeah, maybe.
I mean, you know, judging from Dead Reckoning, I'm surprised they decided to pack a shit ton of money into the sequel. It's like, I know it's the last Mission Impossible, so you can market with that, but at the same time, it's like, guys,
They made
gotta
them at
be
the same
careful.
time, though, didn't they?
Well, from what I remember, that might have been set in stone, like the budget and everything.
yeah.
But they were still, I remember them still sorting out. Remember they had like a huge submarine problem or something like a year ago?
Yeah.
Because remember the plane scene that we see in the trailer for this.
That was shot.
Tom Cruise did a thank you for Top Gun, wasn't it? While he was filming that.
Yeah, I remember that video.
So that was at least 3 years ago.
Well, obviously, in any case, I have a feeling that, like, Gary's probably correct. That, like, it's not looking fantastic considering everything we know. But hey, you know, maybe it is a fucking 11 out of 10 movie, and you know, it gets. I would prefer that Mission Impossible doesn't end on a dud. That would be neat.
They got to get John
I
John
liked Dead
Voight has
Reckoning
to
a
come
lot.
out at the end. and Mr. Phelps was helping him all along.
Yes.
He's got some scarring, just a
You
little
really
scar.
think they're gonna have John Voight in Mission Impossible now? No.
Trump put him in there. I really did enjoy Dead Reckoning. You know,
okay.
is it a Fallout? No. Is it?
Fallout's
I
fucking
still
awesome.
I still love to me it was still just a great classic kind of adventure movie. No politics, none of that bullshit. Good performances, good sequences. So I unashamedly really do like Dead Reckoning. And I hope it ends strong because I do love the Mission Impossible movies. No, I'm not talking about you.
Fuck it. I'm talking about all of them. Damn it! What an adventure it has been. I've watched them all as they've come out. You know what I mean?
30 years, bro.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to just be like, I guess. Because obviously they have to come to an end eventually. It's just that. It's so weird with each one because 1 is not at all like 2 is not at all like 3 is not at all like 4. It just keeps going and going because Brian De Palma made the first one, right?
Yeah, I was just like, he's 84 now. He was
John Voight.
No,
Brian
De Palma is 84 now. So how old was he? When did first Mission Impossible came out?
97?
97, yeah.
90. That's 30 years ago. He's
30 years, yeah.
Oh my God.
Got to do some good stuff. Fingers. I just want to have fun experience.
Well, the theaters will benefit from that weekend, which is good. But we'll see what Thunderbolts does in the second weekend.
Still no Monday.
I think it gets completely forgotten. I just don't like
96.
Unsurprisingly, not tons of buzz around it, and that's why they needed to rename it to New Avengers.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's going to do nothing,
which absolutely taints the Avengers more. You know, it just.
Dude, the more I see it, is that picture real of Scarlet Witch and Doom together?
I wouldn't trust any of them at this point until we get background confirmation because they, when you see it, it's like, oh, that looks like the kind of image that must be real. And it's like they know that now. Even the AI shit knows that. That's how they make them.
God, what
I'm gonna say it right now, and this is gonna make Morlow's head explode.
It's okay.
What are the bets? Because I think it's very high. What are the bets that Doctor Doom's mask becomes nanotech?
I'm going to make me. I figure it would be everything
because he's not wearing. If that image is true, and I think Downey doesn't wear the mask a lot for Doom. He wears it. He takes it on and off as he wants.
Sure, he'll take it off as much as he fucking can. But I was going to say, did you notice in Thunderbolts? I think they might be. I say learning. I'd rather say they're changing the manipulation. So Black Panther and Iron Man in Endgame have some of the worst nanotech helmets. It's the thing where they go, and it's just like, it may as well just be like a goo that goes across it. There's nothing about it that comes across as, the nanotech that Iron Man has in Infinity War, his first suit up in that film. It's kind of cool. I remember liking it. I don't like the look of the suit, but I like the way they portray the nanotechs. You see all of the individual components coming in. Meanwhile, like their future was just and just comes on as a fucking screensaver. It's not even anything. And I noticed in Thunderbolts, Ghost has the Ant-Man thing where it goes so that's shit. But they gave Taskmaster. It came in like pieces.
Yes,
it was like and I was like,
it wasn't nanotech. Yeah,
I wonder if they originally had it just going, and then they were like, oh no, we should probably do something that people don't complain about as much. I wonder if they're going to try and move into like pieces again because they need to find a compromise, right? It's easy to make it go, but everyone has been noticing how shit it is, and the fact that you just make all of your heroes the same. With this, and people who have nanotech who absolutely should not have fucking nanotech.
Like Doom.
Yeah, Doom should not have nanotech, but I wouldn't be surprised that they would give him nanotech.
Ant-Man never used to have a nanotech.
No. Well, they would argue it's not nanotech. It all flips out from the back and goes. But
No, it's nanotech.
Ass, so, yeah, it's nanotech.
So as you probably heard, guys, we thoroughly recommend the new Avengers Thundercunts.
Well, we are apparently in somewhat of a minority in terms of thinking it's a garbage movie. So how about that? Neato.
Not the first time.
We seem to be in the majority of the people that actually went to pay to fucking see it, though.
Well, maybe
because it had the second lowest of a Marvel movie of all time.
The fucking amount of posts I see that are just like Thunderbolts is like phase 1 good.
I think it is a fucking gaslighting campaign. That's the new campaign. The new campaign is gaslighting people.
I mean, hey, you know, you met several on FNT who liked it, so
yeah,
you know, these people exist, and that's okay.
Yeah, but Jeremy's gay.
Quarter black is what?
Quarter black is
quarter gay.
You know, there's
20... only during audition.
What did Disprove think of it?
He didn't like it.
Hey.
No, he was.
No.
He had a proper take.
Yeah,
proper take.
Dude, this is not the first time. It's not the last time, and it's amazing how these things work themselves out later. You know, it's just
the echo chamber has been shattered once again.
Shattered.
I was about to say it's a miracle the three of us agreed on the Thunderbolts. You know, I was expecting maybe another. Was gonna be an odd one out. Maybe you never know.
No,
not with this one.
Not with this movie. No. Yeah. It's all over the place with people who've actually seen it, but yeah, this is why Marvel's even bringing up that things are tired, because if something gets that's what it means when something that's well received, despite what we think, is not doing well, then that's a sign. That's a big problem. And did Thunderbolts suffer from? I don't think it suffered from Daredevil because not enough people watched it.
Oh,
but did it suffer from? And that's what does happen, right? To be fair, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 suffered from the movie that preceded it because it sucked. So,
but it had legs.
And if it had a better weekend, it would have done better. If it had a better first weekend, it would have done better. But it did have legs.
I think, the only thing that suffered from Daredevil Born Again is Daredevil Born Again season 2.
Yeah,
it's gonna be it.
Well, too late.
And then they won't get renewed, and that'll be that. It'll just be a little note of history.
And nobody will remember it, and we'll probably keep referring to Daredevil in the Netflix terms.
Yeah.
So there was
dude, when I was in the comic shop, oh my God. I was looking at just going through the racks. The latest cover on Daredevil. Oh, I'm going to see if I can find it online.
And the interior art doesn't match at all. And
dude, the cover is it's just Daredevil. He's in the black suit, and he's just it looks like Tumblr fucking art. It's dog shit art. Ugh. And here it is. Fucking here it is. Oh my fucking Christ.
I don't even go to the new release rack anymore.
What the fuck is that?
Oh, that's John Romita Jr.
He's not even fucking trying anymore.
No, he's not. Well, I mean, okay, so his early stuff, if you look at his early stuff when he was a kid, like Bob Layton and his dad was helping him a lot with it, and it looked way better. And it was mostly his dad and Bob Layton. But yeah, he's gotten looser over time, I'll say.
It's like Frank Miller.
Yeah, Frank.
You know?
Whatever happened to that documentary? I went and saw it in the theater, and I don't think it
amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they kind of breeze over it in the documentary, but lots of substance.
Anyway, good luck to Daredevil in his
and his boyfriend there or whatever.
Yeah. And his new androgynous fucking boyfriend.
fucking comic books. I was just showing, like, look when, like, this is not even like, this is just a regular garden variety average cover from back in the day, and it was still more dynamic. And hey, take a look at this. Spider-Man's journey to England, only to face two fearsome new foes, those deadly lads from Liverpool, Night and Fog.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Jafar and Ishmael.
This came out in the 80s, bro.
Jeez. But it's like that John Romita Jr. art reminded me when he did the Superman art. Well, I say recently, Superman Year 1, was it? And it was just like, this art is gone.
It works sometimes. Like, he's good in Kick-Ass and Wolverine Enemy of the State. Fucking good shit. But it's gotten looser over time, and he's never been my absolute favorite. Yep.
Right, let's get into the Supries, and I'll keep an eye on the Monday box office. Blank Face of the 14 Zargon says penis.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That's a way to start it out.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. That is penis. Maybe that was their review of the Thunderbolts. Piston with the €6 says, if you three had to defeat the Void, who would you, or who would, I imagine, who would you, A, shine a bright flashlight at him, B, give him a group hug with therapy, or C, accuse him of blackface?
All
three.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. One thing I did like in the Thunderbolts was the look of the Void, I have to say.
Yeah,
I liked
cool.
it, and I liked that you just literally just saw the glints in the eye. Not even the whites, just the glints. I thought it was I thought that was a good look. And I gave it a full point for when they killed the girl, and then I took the point back when nobody died at all.
Yeah.
And they undid something which I actually thought was actually going to mean something. Because to me, I thought, oh, these people are saying, oh, we're losers, we just want to be heroes. And then they save a few people, and people are like, yay, validation. And then the girl gets killed by the Void. And you're just like, it's not about validation, it's about selflessness, and you can't control everything. And I thought they're actually going to say something then. But no, then Yelena just walks in the Void, and everyone's just like, oh, it's going to be fine.
Yeah, as soon as she went in, it was like, yeah, everyone's safe.
Everyone's safe, yeah. And the girl comes back, and it's just like, fuck's sake. Hairukami with the £5 says, or D, not to bother watching the film. A lot of people did choose D. I'm afraid. Because I really want this Monday box office to pop.
There's the D-Rex from Jurassic Park, which Gareth Edwards says it was designed by H.R. Geiger, and then the whole thing had sex with the Rancor.
I hit my head on the desk over and over and over and over. Fuck what they've done to Jurassic every time.
It'll be the biggest movie of the summer.
I hope so. I would laugh
so
hard. I would laugh so hard.
Fucking ogre dinosaur, because they just don't know what to do anymore.
No. Take a 610 with a $5 says, look up nostalgic Nebula on the Book of Face and look at their post for Predator Badlands. It's a headline that might top ratings terrorism. Nostalgia Nebula.
Facebook.
Oh, I don't have Facebook. Nebula. Oh, Book of Face. Gotcha. Facebook. Facebook. Badlands. Let's see what that brings up. The post here, according to their here. Independence Day Easter egg in Predator Badlands. Is that? I don't know. Is that it?
Probably not.
Is that it? I don't know. Probably a nonsense thing. TGV Monster with a $2 says, who would win Devil May Cry 5, Dante or Doomslayer? Well, isn't the joke Doomslayer just fucking never dies?
I don't know enough about Dante to say, but Doomslayer's a pretty tough guy to beat. We would leave that to Cat.
Are you going to play Doom, the new Doom?
Oh, yeah. I assume you are as well, right?
I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. Are you going to play Expedition 33?
Oh, man. I was checking my progress because I'm autistic and I track everything so that I can see where I'm fucking up. And I wish I'd gotten more work done in the month of April. And I was like, why didn't I get as much done compared to my other statistics? And I caught a glimpse of Steam where I was hovering over Schedule 1. And it said, you last played this, you started playing this 28 days ago. And I was like, so April was Schedule 1 and Blueprints. That's why.
Blueprints.
And so it's not that I'm going to make it so I can't play any games. It's just that I got a lot of schedule stuff to track. You know what I'm working on. It's like every day. Counts,
do
basically. So I don't know. I've committed that I definitely want to stream Doom Dark Ages when it comes out. I just don't know if I can fit Expedition 33 in right now. I don't know.
Okay.
But I mean, everyone's recommended it.
I can't fit it into my schedule either. Thanks for asking.
It's still upset we haven't played Blueprints, the door game.
Can I give some breaking news?
Sure.
Because like everybody tunes in for Kanye. So I was kicked for Kanye, and he walked out of the interview in 2 minutes.
Did Piers ask him why do you hate Jews?
Pretty much. I'm pretty sure he fucking led with that.
Okay.
I don't know.
As the trans titty tickler with a £1, thank you.
Wow. that picture was
the internet always wins, mate.
It does. Undefeated.
Ben Mangarelli with a $2 says, "As tell more about Expedition 33 earned hype. It is a phenomenal game."
Dude, how long did you play it? What, yesterday?
7 hours in total.
Oh, that's
not as much as Blueprints. Okay.
Well, I had, as you know, things are slightly different right now. And I did 2 streams of 3 3/4 hours.
I've heard it's not just mechanically satisfying, as the story is good.
Story, characters, graphically, mechanically, it's even other things which I won't go into. Just it's incredible. Now I'm like, what's my favorite game of the year now? Is it Blueprints or is it Expedition 33? I'm in that position, and legitimately so as well. But the story so far has been unbelievable. This game is crazy. Kudos to the studio.
Hey, I don't know if you talked about it early on.
Mm-hmm.
You see Mobland yet?
Not yet.
You understand? We're gonna hear.
I will.
Yeah, there's only 4 weeks left now, as
well. I will. Moving on.
Good shit.
Joey Jojo Jr. Shabadoo with a £5 says, "Since we'll never get your top 5 Doctor Who." I did it on Afternoon Tea with us. I did it. Could we get top 10 Buffy Angel episodes at some point?
I would happily. I don't know if these guys well, I know Gary. We probably need to do that ourselves on something at some point, but I think because remember that game I was playing where it was like try and guess the top 10 on IMDb of a series? Like we could probably do that again now because we've probably completely forgotten all the results of each of the TV shows, but doing that with like Buffy and Angel could be fun as well.
That was funny. Yeah, that was good fun. Aaron K with a $20 says, "I get that ideology and corp politicking has gotten in the way of good writing, but where's basic business logic gone, especially for TV? With Daredevil, you had a team of writers that led to a good show. Why not rehire them for the reboot?" Well, that's different corporations have their different go-to people. So it's unfortunately not as simple as, well, they did great, let's do great. as you've seen many times over, a lot of the time it's they did a thing, we'll do better, and then they put out a lot of crap. So not as simple as it sounds, but yes, DeKnight wasn't involved, was he?
No, they probably were busy or didn't want to work with Disney.
Yeah.
They got kind of a bad rep with creatives right now. And that's why Jake Schreier, who hasn't really directed a movie, directed Thunderbolts, and they have a guy who hasn't really directed a movie directing Fantastic Four right now, and they had to pay a lot of money to get the Russos, who I think they could have got him at a discount after Electric State.
That's what by the way, that's another thing about Thunderbolts is I thought it was really boringly shot. Just really flat for the most part. Nothing creative in the direction. Really fucking standard camera work. The only time that it fucking seemed to move is when they're doing something CG related. And I thought it was just a very boring film to watch visually. Just another thing to shit on that crap. Hunter Dovrak with a $10 says currently doing a Marvel arc right now of Foxverse, Raimi Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man, and MCU, only up to No Way Home. It's quite the nostalgia trip. Which movie pissed you off more when they first came out, X3 or Spidey 3?
Ooh. So I'm gonna be honest, I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't too pissed off about either of them. I just thought they weren't as good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just when Spidey 3 came out, I was disappointed, considering Spider-Man 2 is possibly one of the greatest superhero movies ever made. It is one of the greatest superheroes ever made. There's an argument to say it's the greatest superhero movie ever made, but Superman will kind of be up there with a lot of people.
I'd say there's actually highlights in both films in terms of
yes, there's bits, but overall was after X2 was X3 a disappointment. Yeah, it didn't make me mad. I wasn't mad for either.
Yeah, I wasn't pissed about either of them.
Just disappointed.
Yep.
Hazel or Hasil with a 31 Australian says, Hasil, Mauler, your Star Wars can't grow up video superb. I've rewatched several times now, and I want to start Buffy. Should I slot in Angel as I go?
Yes.
How's it work? Where are you? And why? Gary, you're a champion.
Cheers.
All right. Well, so first, thank you very much. And as far as I'm concerned, I could almost just re-release that video every single time anything Star Wars comes out. It should basically be good to go now forever. Secondly, Buffy and Angel are inseparable. I would never, ever, ever recommend not watching Angel's part of Buffy, especially because out of the two series, Angel has the best season. So, and it does immense work for one of the characters in Buffy that you're gonna absolutely want to see.
Yes. And it weaves in and out of the continuity really well.
It's also just, as far as I'm concerned, it's a way better ending for the Buffyverse than Buffy's ending. I fucking adore it. But on that note, how does it work? You just got to Google. There's a blogspot post that I tend to use. It just gives you a very basic guide. Seasons 1, 2, 3 of Buffy, and then they start to intercede. But there are a couple of things you really do want to watch in order because it's much more fun. Just as an example, there may be a character in Angel that can have visions of people in trouble, and an end of episode for Angel will be that person gets a vision of Buffy or something like that, and then Angel will be like, oh shit, and then you need to see the correct Buffy episode after that, because the prologue will probably have Angel stalking her, and you'll be like, oh, that makes sense. But if you're watching just one of the shows, you'll only see half that story each time. So, and there's a particular character that goes in and out of Buffy and Angel that it's insane to miss her story in terms of how she changes. She's got a lot of stuff going on. And it's funny because my favorite character leaves Buffy as possibly one of the most annoying and ends up basically the goated goat of all goats. So
being one of the best.
Yeah. Check it out and just make sure you don't miss out on Angel if you're going to watch Buffy for sure.
Yep.
I'm in my other place with chat spam. We've got our own little place now, so you know, doing the office, and Gary is a champion for the black race. Big Ounce with a $2 says weekly Marvel versus DC, Red Hood versus Winter Soldier. I'd probably say Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier, super soldier.
Yeah, Super Serum is going to take out. Although they have actually done Nightwing versus Winter Soldier, and Nightwing came out on top of that one.
They've done Batman versus Cap. And
yes, they have.
Kind of matched each other's steps, and they're like, we should probably talk because we're going to be here all day.
We're going to be here all day.
Yeah.
Which ain't bad when when I say regular man, Batman. Yeah. But when a regular man can fight a super soldier to a standstill. Faraway Finley. By the way, Batman did defeat Cap in the Marvel versus DC.
Yeah.
Faraway Finley with a membership for 36 months. Thank you. Darth Jager with a membership for 13 months. SSJ Lalo with a $2 says Schleppo. Indeedy. Patrick Onion Hands with a £10. Nothing said, just dropping a tenner on the table. Thank you, Patrick. Snacks with a $2 says as in an echo chamber. Literally. It's my safe space echo chamber. Although you
just gotta fill the room with stuff, and then
I got my 89 Batmobile coming. I'm going to soundproof foam up here and get some tables.
You're gonna soundproof it with a Batmobile? That's interesting.
Anything to bounce sound off, it works. Just fill the room.
Just fill the room. GJJ has been a member for 36, thank you. 38 even, thank you. Alan Mack with a membership for 25 says fake copyrights again. Yep. Razor Hammond with a $2 says just found out Bella Ramsey is my father. Yay. Unapologetic Art has been a member for 27, thank you. Black Kane with a $5 says, when Gary isn't here, it's like dad left his sons in charge of his hardware store for the weekend and they turn it into a casino/brothel.
What's the problem?
Yeah, that sounds great to me.
I'm proud of you, boys.
Yeah, as is in protective custody. Yeah, away from Marvel. Panicking Skyfaller with a $10 says, at this point, Shiloh Hendricks should add making a podcast as a stretch goal, maybe even a meme coin. Imagine seeing that on the ticker. Hey, that rhymed. Shiloh Hendricks, is that the guy from Doctor Who? I have no idea who Shiloh Hendricks is. Do you know? Anyone here? No?
Wait.
Is that the guy from the Doctor Who episode? I don't know.
No, that's the girl who said the N-word and got $600,000.
Oh, man. Yeah, shit. Now it makes sense. God, I gotta up my racism.
I think she lasts longer than a Hawktaw girl.
Yeah. Oh. Shlomi Liner with a $10 says, hey, Az, I want to start reading comics with Kane Parker. I know he starts out in Clone Saga, but I heard it's not good. What are some of the other comics with Kane I can read? Well, Gary's your Marvel guy.
What? Okay, so Kane Parker, I know he starts out in the Clone Saga, but I heard it's not good. What are some other comics with I like the start with the Clone Saga. Don't it ends messy, but it's fun. Especially comparatively to now. And there's an omnibus out there you can get.
There you go. Martino with a 10 gifted memberships to the stream. Martino, thank you. Quiet Texan with a $10 says, when Gary's not here, or is, can you just put Emma Frost from Marvel Rivals on screen? Oh, hell yeah.
You could do that now.
That's you
can do it while I'm here. It's fine.
That's a fine piece of white meat right there. You know what I'm saying? Garfield's bizarre adventure with the $5 says Grace Randolph has stated that she will no longer watch Last of Us. She doesn't wish to give negative reviews to a project with lesbian leads.
You just did.
What?
That's the Stuckman logic you just did. Why do they? I will not talk about it because it is shit. Well, I guess it's shit then.
Guess it's shit then. Snacks with the $5 says if you falsely accuse someone, you should be charged with whatever punishment they would receive. Yes, the accusation should match the crime that you're accusing of. Mark Klein with the $10 says, hi, Terrence, Garrett, and Morley. Since 1975 and 2025 have the exact same days. They've re-released the Marvel 1975 calendar, and it's magnificent. Brilliant art on high-quality paper, worth checking out.
They have the exact same days. That's weird, man.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah.
It's a magnificent calendar. I have the vintage one, so.
Of course, 1975 being the year of my birth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was 6.
Fucking hell, you old fucker.
Mm-hmm. I was in a different dimension.
Yeah, fair point. Michael King with the $5 says, are the West Coast Avenger comics worth collecting? As sent you an email of a Ghost in the Shell figure. Nice. Okay. Located not far from Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers. Gay.
Yes, they are worth collecting. There's actually some really good stuff in there. I would say yes. And it would be affordable as hell. They're not super expensive.
I got a Michael King. Michael, I've got an email. Saw these at my local flea market. The images are broken and not showing, I'm afraid, dude. They are not showing. They're broken and not showing. Zavi's musky armpits with the $2 says, hell, Papa Franco, give me the pussy, boss.
Oh, Az, you don't know the reference? It's Filthy Frank.
Oh,
Idubbbz days when everything was better.
It was a lot better. Noon's gifting 50 memberships to the stream. Can we get an applause for that, Gary, please? Yeah, you definitely get an applause. Noons, thank you so much indeed. That's stupid in a beautiful, beautiful way. Mexa Rage with the $10 says, I love Hassan freaking out and yelling like Boogie. It was glorious. I also got the Dark Crystal movie in 4K, and they live. Hail the fellowship and have a great day, y'all.
2 good movies.
What, the Hassan versus H3?
That movie's not over yet.
I kept laughing every time we go, Ethan. I just
like it when he picked up on it and started going, Hassan.
Oh, man.
Dude, did you notice? I picked the strategy up straight away from Hassan because, unfortunately for me, I've watched enough of his shit that I know what kind of person he is. Right? Like he'll rage out at everyone and everything. He doesn't care, but he's like weirdly civil, and he's only focusing on. So to give you an example, right, of the tone difference here, it'll be like, Ethan, ask a question, and he'll say, "What did you think of the Sabra tier list that clearly was like subtextually related to racism that was on one of the streams?" And then it'll be like, Hassan, you ask a question. He's like, what is your opinion regarding the definition of genocide in blah, blah, blah? And just be like, hang on. And I was like, oh, Ethan should have probably been able to pick it up quicker than he did. But like that was Hassan's strategy. He wanted the story for this debate to be, I stuck on the issues. And he wanted to talk about petty drama. But
because what I really enjoyed was every time Hassan would say something that he thought, I've got Ethan. Ethan would just go, yes. Now I'll.
Yeah. Well, I love that shit. Yeah.
Therefore, that it is actually a genocide. Yes. Right now, answer this question.
Well, that was that plan. So he would like finish a question about some drama thing, and Hassan every time would either go like strategy 1 would be, oh my god, like are we seriously talking about this? Strategy 2 would be, huh? I don't even what?
Yeah.
Huh? And then
Wait,
3 would be
he said, yeah.
Ethan, Ethan,
Ethan,
Ethan,
Ethan,
Ethan,
Ethan,
need-
Ethan.
Ethan, you need help. That's what Idubbbz tried to do as well. As if they're these fucking saints, dude. They're just trying to help you.
When Destiny gets a W over fucking Idubbbz, you know the world. He's fucked.
Wow.
You know he's fucked.
Oh,
They had to back out of Creator Clash, right? Like
he's
abandoned it.
Abandoned Creator Clash. He's no longer apparently attached to it. Yeah. Hitchhiker 42 has been a member for 36 months. Says, did Thunderbolts steal the end of a Red Dwarf episode where they were stuck in Rimmer's mind and they had to team hug and praise Rimmer to escape? Yeah, but the joke there was they fucking hated him.
Yeah.
And so it was completely and utterly false, and they're all like, yes, sir. Red Dwarf was funny. This was fucking shite. Matt Robertson with the $2 says, Hassan is to activism what Green Day is to punk.
Lol.
Oh, true.
Very true.
Villa Idiot with a $5 says, have you seen the movie Mafia with Jay Moore? If so, do you like it? It's a weird in-between of good parody and the epic movie era.
Yeah, I saw it like when it came out.
And then part 2 for $5 says, I personally loved it, but then I also like not another teen movie, so maybe my taste isn't the best. I don't like that. Not another whatever movies. I find them incredibly unfunny. I found the Hunger Games one really creepy. But he's just trying to. He's just trying to
miss that.
Yeah, it's just like not another something. And it's the guy. Is it Jamie Kennedy? I don't know if it's Jamie Kennedy. He's just trying to see her tits, and it sounds based, but the way it is, even back in the day, it was just like, this is really creepy. This is just really creepy. And she's like dying, and it's just like his dying wish for her is that she shows him his tits before she dies. So it cuts away to the Starving Games. Is that what it's called?
The Starving Games.
It clearly cuts away. It clearly cuts away to a body double that would get them out. And it was just like, this is really fucking creepy, dude.
I've never heard of that. The Starving Games.
It sounds funny. It sounds like it could be pretty based. The execution really fucking. Yeah, not so good. Snacks with the $5 says, hope you all had a good Star Wars Fool's Day on the 4th. Looking forward to celebrating Star Wars Orthodox Day on the 25th.
Yes.
Favorite pre-Disney Star Wars moment? To me, it's got to be the Vader Luke fight at the end of Return of the Jedi. It's just brilliant.
My favorite moment is when your sister,
yeah. And then the music completely starts swelling, and Luke's going, "Oh,
that
man."
musical sequence was not on the original soundtrack, which was unbelievable to me. So the vinyl soundtrack, that musical sequence, is only in the special edition that they released later, I believe in the 90s. That they did a box set, and I could it's the best musical sequence in the entire trilogy, dude.
Yeah,
if you will not turn, then perhaps
she will.
So fucking good.
Yeah, the choir in that sequence is amazing in the background.
Yeah.
And you're just like, kill him! And then Luke is the better man than all of us in that moment, and he stops. Even though you're just wanting him to kill Vader. No. Savvy's Musky Armpits with a $5 says, Met Gala, is this the gayest real BBC ever? I hope so.
Since last week.
Since last week's. Yes, the gayest since last week's. We set new records of gay every week. Calioth with a $2 says Met Gala fundraised off black slavery reparations.
Can't believe we talked about it this much.
Jed dropping a £5 on the table and walking away. Thank you, Jed. Ultima Breaker 240 with a $20 says, might I recommend a decent TV show, SAS Rogue Heroes? I was wanting more twin vicars and less pussy rap political intrigue. Show would be a great minus a desert dwelling frog. Okay.
Did you guys talk about Drinker getting his video?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's HBO. HBO blocked it.
Yeah, Warner Brothers is terrible.
Yeah.
You got to be.
Colhauser became a member. Colhauser, thank you, sir. Jed with a £2 says, also, as Watch Mobland, watch it tonight.
Yeah.
Colhauser with a 10 Canadian says, hell, Rubussy, are we surprised? A bunch of black dudes wearing dresses in New York. Our real brothers are on the show. Thanks, Brother Az, Mola, and Gary. Thanks to JD Vance for supporting the prequels.
He did.
I did. Did you see the thing about the first trans cheerleader?
No.
Some shaven head black dude in a fucking bikini.
Is it in college? Is it in like where?
I didn't.
Where will they be cheerleading right now?
I didn't want to click on the. It's just seeing it on the timeline was enough. I was like, no, good. I'm good, thanks. Very with a $20 says, Gary, the scene where the guy gets slapped by his mum sounds like a poor imitation of the scene from Superman where he saves the girl's cat. Hail the Fellowship and 199, God bless. I saw that bit on Twitter. That was floating around on Twitter. Mum, I just saw a man come out of the blue box. She stood down and slaps him. And that makes the boy, and suddenly the boy's a bad guy? Okay.
Yep. That's what led to it.
So he's not an abused child or anything. Okay.
No.
As avoiding the temptation. Fuck. God damn it. You make one mistake 3 times in a day. Drake Timbershaft with a $2 says, hashtag make Taskmaster male and alive again.
Make him alive again.
They might be setting that up, killing Tasky off so quick.
I've seen people theorizing this. What the fuck planet are you on where you think they're going to be making a male Taskmaster?
No, that's...
What are you talking about? People are like, that's why they killed her off. I was like, no. There's obviously something else going on. I do not believe for a second. Even if they did, Tony Masters would be ruined.
Jake Matheson with a $5 says, for the soundproofing fund, thank you. By the way, how'd you like living with a dog as opposed to a cat? What's their name? Doggo is amazing. Their name is Schlurpo. Quite obviously. Schlurpo McDuffie. Yeah, I got a cat in one place and I got Doggo in another place, and they are very different entities, and I'm a very happy man to be surrounded by we don't deserve animals. We don't deserve animals, can I just say?
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing I don't think more heartwarming than just being sat and Doggo just planting themselves on top of your face, you know? So this is a good feeling. Nick pauses 2, 3. Gore with a $5. Oh my God, that fucking...
I do what Ryan does. Nicholas Gore.
Nicholas Gore with a $5. The new Avengers sequel end credit scene will be with the Thunderbolts again after they lose the lawsuit just to make it more confused.
A profile pic.
I know.
No, there's something so familiar about
There's
this.
something so familiar. I can't quite put my finger on it though. Jacob Wolf with a $5. Revenge of the Sith made more dollar per screen last Sunday than Thunderbolts did on May the 4th.
I wouldn't be surprised about that at
believe you.
all.
Yeah. Drake Timbershaft with a $10 says, the last 2 movies I've seen are
Did that come out?
At Pompeii.
They're doing a 4K version of that. Did that come out? Did I miss it? Damn it.
And Barry Lyndon by Stanley Kubrick. Both made 5 decades ago, and they stand the test of time. Today's films are slop in comparison. Can't really argue with that. Augustin Fantino with a
Fandino.
Fantino. $1,000. Oh no, it's Argentinian. That's 88p. That's 88p. Augustin. Seriously, I appreciate you, dude. Hello, fellas. Have you seen or heard the Netflix miniseries called The Eternaut? It's a post-apocalyptic story based on an Argentinian comic from 1957.
Yep.
Totally not biased Argentinian opinion here, but it's really, really good. You guys should check it out. Cheers.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for it. Looks pretty interesting.
Okay. When's it out?
I think it's out.
Oh.
Did either of you see the trailer for Weapons?
No.
I heard about it though.
I've definitely got a.
Oh, wait,
eye
is that
on
the kids?
film.
The
Yeah,
kids.
the
Yes,
film.
I did. Yes.
I saw the poster and it looked interesting.
I had the exact same reaction to the trailer. I was like, yeah, solid premise, and then it got real creepy, and I was like, ooh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or maybe I saw the trailer at the cinema.
Oh, and do you know the thing about how apparently Jordan Peele tried to buy it for like he wanted his agent to pick up the script for like 28 million or something absurd, and he lost it in a bidding war. And as soon as he lost it, he fired his agent.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I have seen it. I have seen the trailer, and yes, it looks. I'm interested.
It looks
in
interesting.
That. Yes.
Totally unrelated. Oh, go on.
I was just going to say that the hype is building around it for that background, which I will say is like that is kind of an interesting background. So yeah, I want to see it.
Totally unrelated. I just watched the Patagonia special from Top Gear, which I had never seen. Holy shit. That ending was crazy. That's when they got kicked out because Jeremy had the license plate that they thought was, remember, it said like HKL or FKL, and
Falkland
it had 82
Islands.
in it. So they thought it was like roasting the Fox. And they were like in the region where they lost a ship and everything. And they got like rocks thrown at them and shit. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Argentinians weren't too happy about that. Augustin, I'll keep an eye out for it, dude. I'll keep an eye out for it.
No, it looked that show looked kind of good. You got to read the subtitles though.
Okie dokie. We got Ryu with a $2 says, so we'll have the new and young Avengers now.
Ugh.
Well, the Young Avengers is now meant to be on Disney Plus and not a cinematic film.
Ironheart comes out in a month and a month and a half.
And I don't think it's going to happen.
Unbelievable that they probably at one point floated the idea of him at least stating who the Avengers would be at the end of Captain Falcon, but they didn't. And so now it's up to Avengers Doomsday to tell us who the Avengers even are. Because even that after credits scene, it's like he's suing you for copyright. It's like, because the Avengers, it's like, well, but who are they? It's like,
who are they?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Marvel, Disney don't know.
No, nobody knows. Certainly they didn't, because they haven't even fucking locked in all the contracts yet. They haven't confirmed Wolverine is in Doomsday yet.
No.
That's insane. He's probably still negotiating because he knows how much he's worth now.
Vaughn with a 5 year says, Gary, you like sword and sorcery, especially Conan and Elric. But have you read Corum by Moorcock?
No, not yet, but I have it.
I like the story more than Elric. And 2 out of 2 for a €2 says, can also recommend Legend by David Gemmell.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. Craig Long with a $50 says, watch the Thunderbolts. I mean, New Avengers didn't make me hate Marvel like Doctor Strange Mom, but very much full of characters forgetting their own powers and should have called them the D-Avengers. Walker is a hero and saved everyone's ass all movie.
Correct.
Correct.
Remember when he was abandoned by Yelena and she fucked up the power switch thing, so he had to defeat the first wave alone.
Alone
then
in the dark.
And then he set himself up to sabotage the second team
Second
after
wave,
defeating the first team. And what did he get as thanks? She fucking shot at him.
She shot at him, and then
And then she blamed him.
Yes.
This is what I mean.
He did more of a fucking covert thing than she ever did. And that's meant to be a covert assassin.
But do you understand? Like, I am sometimes baffled by how consistently they will accidentally write him such that I enjoy him and feel like he's the underdog, you know? It's so weird.
It's clown world. It's clown world. Shalomi Lina with a $5 says, "You don't think Doctor Doom versus Magneto won't be cool? What if it makes sense in the story? Would you like it then?"
Okay.
Dude, always happy to be proven wrong, but we've got an 86-year-old man fighting Doom,
who's played by fucking Robert Downey Jr.
So it's just gonna be a CGI.
To be clear, over the course of Phase 4 and 5, if we were running like a betting site and we'd put odds basically constructed of our own on whether or not any given film coming out would be good, it has shrunk and shrunk and shrunk and shrunk to the point of, if you would bet on our site that Thunderbolts was going to be great, you'd be winning like $1 billion when you put down one. We'd be like, this is so unlikely. And you'd be like, oh, okay, so what are you saying about Doomsday? I'd say it's probably got the least likely to be well written. I would even argue giving a writer a whole year to write the Doomsday script when you have to include multiverse, time travel, and 70 main characters, yeah, best of luck.
Well, it's being written on the go.
So that's the thing, right? I'm saying, even with all the benefits of time, if you're given a whole year, I still think it would turn out like garbage.
Yeah.
So, what hope does this movie have when they haven't finished the script yet and they're filming scenes? The idea, Doom versus Magneto, I fully recommend to the audience, try not to get suckered in by the mere concept, because this movie will age far worse even than Endgame does.
I got a feeling this ain't gonna come anywhere close to anything.
And it's kind of what I was trying to get at. It's like, yeah, there was a time where if we had heard about this was going to happen, we'd be hype as fuck. It ain't those times anymore.
Jam55 with a $2 says, Taskmaster actress probably voted for Trump, which is Russian.
Maybe because she was Russian.
Oh, maybe I just answered that question by saying she's Russian.
Maybe.
The fact they've got her on the promotional shit, though, I just think that's so mean.
And they cast the entire Doomsday with all the Thunderbolts except for her.
She got paid. She got paid.
I'm sure she got paid, but yeah, I'm just talking about it from it's all relative, right? Everyone there gets to celebrate being a part of the team, and they have her there. And it's like, why, guys? Why am I here? Like, I'm not even in the movie. But I was just gonna say on the point of like the movie. Do you imagine they told her after they had announced like 70 different main characters? They're like, there's just not enough room for you. Sorry, Taskmaster would take up too much space. Can't have you in Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, I'm just checking out her heritage. She is a Ukrainian-born French actress.
Well, she should have been in the whole damn movie then.
Yeah, she should have been the main star.
She's French Ukraine?
French Ukraine, yeah.
I always assumed she was Russian.
She's French Ukrainian.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Back to Doomsday, back to Doom. And then is RDJ like, what happens to Doom after Secret Wars?
I'm assuming he's going to get killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's your introduction to Doom, and then you get another Doctor Doom?
Yep.
No, then there'll be no Doom. This will be it.
It'll be no Doom for a while, but then they'll have I'm assuming they'll have a different universe Doctor Doom eventually.
I don't want to just fuck off with your different fucking universes.
It's gonna, like with the Secret Wars, it's gonna meld into one. Like the Fantastic Four will be on.
How are we getting Galactus, Doom, and Mephisto all at once? That's insane. They're gonna fuck this up so hard.
Well, Mephisto was supposed to be around already.
We've been Mephistoed up the ass.
Nice.
Wait. Yeah, Shindo versus with the $5 says, anyone else remember when the Hulk and Sentry fought and the only way to stop them was a focused orbital blast from the sun? What's up, BBC? Sounds like Yelena could take care of them easy. No problem.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She'll do a flip.
She'll do it. She'll bring him down with the leg flip. She'll wrap her legs around his neck and flip him.
She'll do a roll over a moving table. Red Show fan with a $20 says it's not superhero fatigue, it's woke movie fatigue. I think I think it's both.
Yeah. I mean, like there's the media version of superhero fatigue, which I completely reject. And they just wrote an article on it again, which is there's just too much stuff. That's bullshit. Because if this too much stuff, if a little over half of it was pretty good, they wouldn't be in a problem right now.
Besides, we had a whole era of an insane amount of stuff, and they were all making money.
Yeah.
Remember, like the rising tide of Marvel made it such that random studios and DC were able to stay profitable for a long time. Because, like, there was a whole different... Remember, DC's been trailing Marvel in the movies for ages, trying to copy... Remember Suicide Squad got, like, butchered because they didn't know what the Justice League got butchered? Because they were like, are we supposed to make it funny? Let's make it funny. What do we do, Marvel? And Marvel just keep making more and more and more money. But yeah, there was a time where shit tons of superhero crap was coming out, and most of it was profitable.
Yeah,
Fucking Shazam made money, you know.
Kevin Fatigue. That's what it is. Kevin Fatigue. No, the fatigue is definitely from too many bad movies. Like I don't know how many times I've said this a lot. So there's the media version, which is there's too much stuff and audio. Like even in the Washington Street Journal article, they say fans lost the plot. It's like, no, fans didn't fucking lose the plot. Marvel lost the plot and they made a bunch of shit. So that's why people are just tired of it. So when they come out and make something that people kind of like, the majority of people kind of like, and it doesn't do well, then that's your brand being tired. It just is.
And we've seen there are still ones that can make money. Like Deadpool and Wolverine obviously proved that there's still things you can do to make money with a superhero genre.
It's gimmicky. But the thing is, what they feel they can't do, which you absolutely can do. By the way, all this stuff you can do. Mahler, you know this. Like you get a good creative, you get a good writer, you make a good superhero movie with a good story and engaging characters. It will do fucking well. People will like it. But when you point out Deadpool, Wolverine, No Way Home, even the media is admitting now that those are outliers relying on past nostalgia, wrapping up stories. Doomsday is going to be the exact same. What you can't do now, or that they feel they can't do now, is just write a Blade movie. Write a singular superhero movie that may be an origin, maybe not an origin, but just tell a singular superhero story, which you used to be able to do, but now you need to fill it with just more candy, right? And it just becomes soulless and it loses story, it loses meaning, and that's where they're at right now. Yeah, Blade got shit canned because they
couldn't fit the intersectional feminism in.
They couldn't.
They couldn't make it feel organic.
We'll figure out like what the actual source of gravity is before they can crack the code of Blade being able to slay vampires.
Just re-release Blade. Fuck it.
Yes.
Yeah. Just give it release it in 4K. Boom.
Oh, they did.
Red Show fan with a $20 says, I think the anti-woke sphere has been infiltrated by corporations because I am seeing some YouTubers backhand complimenting these movie reviews, even though it's a good movie no one is seeing. I mean, people can like them.
Yeah.
If they want, but
this isn't the first.
I struggle to see how on earth somebody could say this is a good film. I really do.
It's not the first time people have disagreed with us in the last calendar year. So it's like,
to an extent, I'm like, what, there's someone likes every movie has someone to like it out there. You know, there's always, and this one has had a lot of praise. So I'm just like, yeah, I guess it's doing something that people wanted to see, or some people wanted to see. But I'm not entirely. I'm kind of with you in terms of like, I'm not entirely sure what the fuck convinced people that. So many people have been praising Bucky too, and I've just been like, bro, he was barely in it, and of what was in there, Like it was a dull ass performance. I don't know what it is exactly.
Fan fiction with a $10 says, or fiction with a $10 says, the only hope for Disney/Marvel, let Doom go through the MCU and just start 86 in the entire roster. First She-Hulk, then her best friend, the Marvels, Hagatha and her coven, wipe them out, all of them.
So Agatha's a ghost right now.
He's a ghost. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess he could kill a ghost. Why not?
Sure. Easy. It's Doom. Josh Kelsey dropping a 20 on the counter as well. Thank you, Josh. He who shall not be named with a $10 says John Walker is essentially Marvel's Rorschach, a character meant to be loathed by their creators but became beloved by fans. Alan Mack with a £2 says such a low bar.
Such a low bar.
Such a low bar. Dark Magician SDY with a $10 says, hi, love you all. Thanks for the Buffy addiction, Mauler. I started rewatching it with Angel now, and I love how they are already fleshing him out. I love the tone of the show already, and I'm 2 episodes in.
A lot of people end up preferring Angel to Buffy because it's similar format but darker, and I mean it's a lot. Everything's rougher and hits harder because he's a vampire and he's going into the underworld of LA a lot of the time. So it's a lot less comfy as a show in a way.
Deus Vault with the $2 is Mauler. Did he see Sinners?
No, even though loads of people have recommended it, but a couple people have also said it's absolute shit that I trust. So I've mentioned earlier, my time has been stretched thin, and most of my free stuff has been filled with my obligations for like other streams, so certain TV shows and stuff. So Sinners has just sort of slipped me by, and I don't know if I might check it out at some point. I don't know. Did you see it, Az?
I want to. I haven't, but I actually do want to see it.
All right. Let me know.
I actually left the Thunderbolts saying we could have walked into there and watched that instead,
Well, yeah. Gary, you thought it was right?
Might still do that.
Yeah, I liked it. That was all right.
There you go.
Yep.
Jesus Davila with a $1 fitty hot dog. And Jesus Davila dropping a gifted membership to the stream as well. Thank you. William Uzzle with a $5 says, in Far From Home, Peter unmasks while talking to Happy backstage during the charity event. Behind them on the ceiling is a security camera.
Oh, yeah.
The mask off thing is...
Yeah, there's a lot of retardation with unmasking. The Book of Grudges with a $10 says, Sentry versus The Void, Bob versus Anti-Bob.
Anti-Bob.
Oobly Jublies with a 20 Australian says it kills me that neither Zemo nor Moonstone are in the Thunderbolts. As awful as Brie is, I'd have loved to have seen the Carol versus Moonstone rivalry for the comics on screen. She's a far superior villain to Darben.
I guess switch that to it would be nice if we got anything good out of all of this.
Full stop.
Because I'm just like, yeah,
stop.
Full
stop. No, I hope they bring Brie back just for a rogue scene.
Oh, yes. I see. Yeah, I see what you mean. Jennifer Grasso with a $5 says, Mola, you are swaying me on John Walker. I still need to rewatch Falcon and Winter Soldier to be 100% sure, but he seems like a hero to me. If you do, Jennifer, just watch Falcon and Winter Soldier with the mindset that Walker is doing the right thing and everything he does makes sense.
Yep.
Everything he does is a hero.
It's tough, though.
They treat him like absolute crap. And yeah, I don't know. It just, it's almost like it goes as credit, but it really shouldn't, considering all the context that he is my favorite character that they have made. Because obviously he's not going to be exactly as he is in the comics. They have that with all their characters. I hate what they've done with their roster of new characters. Gary, you had to count on it at some point, right? Like the amount of new superheroes they've introduced in Phase 4 and 5.
I do. I have a video. I can't remember where it is now, but I'll find it. That has had the count at the time, and this was this is 2 years ago now.
Yeah,
it was 3 female characters to 1 male character, and I was counting side characters. It wasn't just superheroes, but it's 3 to 1.
But yeah, every single new that they've introduced has been awful. Zemo survived Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So but he's from the before times, right? Like, so the only new original thing they've made that I really like character-wise is John Walker, and that's insane. Because I'm
crazy,
not
but
like
true.
him. I'm supposed to say he's a mean man who's an
Yeah,
asshole.
but you got people who don't understand heroes writing heroes, and they're writing their heroes like villains because they think that's what's the right thing, and they don't. So when they write a villain, they actually give them heroic traits.
They don't know. They don't know good from bad.
No.
It's the kind of people out there who said Captain America or Batman would be pro Antifa. It's like get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, fuck off.
I just want to be absolutely clear. I would never recommend watching Falcon the Winter Soldier. Just
never, never. I mean, like, yeah, they had two shows that could have been like we say this a lot, but like the Hawkeye show just centered on Jeremy Renner would have been fucking rad. But it wasn't because it was about Kate Bishop. Moon Knight, if they centered it on the actual Moon Knight from early on, it could have been rad. But instead, we had the Scarlet Scarab, Egyptian superhero.
Will we ever see?
Are you an Egyptian superhero?
And a kaiju fight in the end.
No,
we're gonna see Scarlet Scarab and Gaia team up soon enough.
Dude, why didn't they just call Gaia to take on Bob?
Or Galactus or Doom, Apocalypse.
Gaia's got Captain Marvel's power, so she could have flown down from the moon like instantly.
Sketch 174 with the $2 says, what bags and board do you use to bag your comics? Well, the ones want permanently go with the My Lights,
acid-free boards.
Acid-free boards, My Lights, standard size.
Yeah, standard size because that will hold Silver Age to
modern.
Yeah. So and also it greatly, they're more expensive, way more expensive, but you won't have to change them out for years and years and years and years.
Take a 610 with a $5 says, is it hard to find a post without searching directly from Facebook? But the headline was Disney introduces child predator to.
Oh, I've heard about this. Yeah. Apparently, that is a real thing that they said.
Oh God, that's as good as former Transformer judge.
Transformer judge.
Prosecution in disguise. Dude, no way. No fucking way. Who did the headline?
I don't know, but they deserve a pay rise.
They do.
They deserve a fucking pay rise and a promotion.
Yeah.
I want Chris Hansen to kick the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Chris Hansen hunting in the jungle for the child predator. No Zaku boy with a $50 says, who sees into the hearts of men and the undergarments of women? Not Peeping Tom. A month passed since Tom was squeezed dry by Goon's Day. His peerless peepers have closed for good. The city left in turmoil and mourning after the death of Peeping Tom.
No,
man, that's gonna be a huge cliffhanger.
He's in his 1990s cycle now. He's just got comic coded.
Goon's Day.
Goon's Day is an Avengers level threat. Okay,
it's so good. Sindek with a $2 says, I for one welcome Az from the land of the dead. Thank you. Well, you're going to see me because I'm back on FNT, guys, as a host for the time being, So you'll see me there for, we'll see. We'll just see. We'll see. WG with a $5 says, Bella Ramsey for Odo and Deep Space Nine reboot. No CGI required. Claydex with a 9-month. What do you think about the tariffs to US movie productions being filmed abroad? That's how I'm understanding it. Some peeps wishing bad things as usual. Well, I'd say it's an effort to try and make more American-made movies instead of giving the money to the UK, New Zealand, Canada, which are all much, much cheaper to film in.
Yeah, I just did
that's what they're trying to do.
Bunch of fucking homework on this to talk about it to peers and got kicked for Kanye. So I'll try to keep this really effing brief. It is bottom line, it's Trump's trying to get people to the table to start thinking about ways to film more stuff in America. I don't know if this is even possible. It's been going on for decades, and you would have to tariff what pieces of work happen in foreign lands because there's still stuff happening in America and California. But ultimately, he's taken a shot at fucking Gavin Newsom. That's pretty much what's behind all this. Now, there are tax incentives here in the States. They could be better. Right now, the UK is offering the best ones. That's why they're going. That's it. Once states start offering better, tax incentives and incentives. So there's cash incentives and tax incentives. And some of them are capped, some of them are not. And most, if not all, I didn't get, I put Lady Greenmaster on this and I didn't go to it, but I'm guessing all of them have some kind of diversity and equity attachments that are requirements that you must meet, which they have no problem with. J.K. Rowling finally said something about her own fucking show, and the thing she said was, "I can't fire somebody."
Nor would I. Pontius piloted the fuck out of that. Just wash my hands on that.
That's the only thing she said about the show publicly.
John Gibson with a $100 super chat. Can we have an applause for that, please, Gary? Mola, the world needs an EFAP on Platoon's ad read for Adam and Eve on his Minecraft videos. It's the best thing on the internet since the debut of Schleppo.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, we don't typically do reviews of other hosts' videos, but who knows? Sounds interesting.
John, massive thank you. Big fat hundo. Benjamin Berg with a $5 says, do you have any recommendations for a comic shop in Salt Lake City?
I haven't been to Salt Lake City in decades.
Oh,
sorry.
I'd have to say Benjamin just Googles your friend on that one, I'm afraid.
Google's your friend.
B Buster with a member for 29 months says, is Az in Gary's basement? Am I?
Yes.
Can you keep the noise down, please?
Fuck off. I'll let you out to feed a little later.
I'm very hungry.
No,
I am. I'm looking. We've only got
it puts the lotion on its skin.
That got fucking dark. Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me.
Jesus.
Callioth with a $2 says Doomsday halted due to tariff threat.
Is
Hashtags, yes. Stop filming.
No, really?
Yes.
So, okay. Again, I don't have time to get into the whole thing about it here because it does affect if they can implement it, which they don't know how and what aspects of it, it could affect all the South Korean stuff that people like, anime that people like. Does this go into gaming in some way? Maybe. I don't know. But with just pure tax it's how Trump gets people to negotiate and brings people to the table. But that doesn't mean he won't fucking implement them if he can, if people don't. But look at how much it's freaking out Hollywood already. So it's working. It gets them to the table and maybe, more, and it's about labor, right? So it's about like putting American workers to work here because they'll fly casts over and do stuff, but then they hire Australians and the UK. And I'm not against that at all, but like, I think it's an incentive to shoot more stuff here, but tariffs aren't going to fix that. What's going to fix that in California is fucking Gavin Newsom, who hasn't fucking fixed it. And it's too fucking expensive. And then there's unions who have requirements that are more strict than the unions in the UK. How was the House of the Dragon able to shoot during the fucking strike? Well, because all the crew was UK. They were under the union. And the union will have there's so much redundancy in Hollywood right now. It makes it cheaper to fly to Australia to film a movie, and that's been going on for well over 20 years. So it's a complicated issue, but it's about it is about saving Hollywood, and Hollywood's going to be against it. Does it have repercussions? Maybe. It's going to hurt Canada's production too if it gets implemented. So we'll see what happens after that.
Daniel Erler with a $5 says, "Hey guys, would you ever consider having the lads from Kino Casino on FNT or Real BBC? Might be risky, but extremely entertaining." The Kino guys are the drama sphere, we're the entertainment sphere.
Yeah.
So I don't envisage them wanting to discuss the latest Marvel movie. But I think DSP would probably get wrecked in the show. Harukami with a £5 says, "Didn't I see something JK said that Snape was white?"
She did multiple times within the book.
Also her drawing
of
how he looks and stuff like that. But yeah. And Harukami with a £5 says, "And that's a lot of lotion." Yeah, you gotta put a lot of lotion in the basket to get me lubed up. You know what I'm saying? I've got my own fucking gravitational sphere going on down here. Guys, that's caught up. We're up to everything. Before we go, Morley, is there anything that you'd like to plug, dear sir?
No.
Gary, before we go, is there anything that you'd like to plug?
No.
Oh my God.
Okay. Thunderbolts review. That's now a new Avengers review. Opinion has not changed. Nooner tomorrow with Chris. Watch fucking Mobland out there. If you haven't watched it yet, go watch Mobland. It is good. It is good.
Okie dokie. Iris Rodda with a membership for 22 months. Thank you, Iris. I'm going to take a little break now, chat, get something to eat, get something to drink, and then I'm probably going to come back and do some more Expedition 33. Strummy. Tomorrow, ripping a silverback, 7:30 UK time, 1:30 Central time over on Eric's channel this week. Friday Night Tights. Your boy's back as a host. Who's the guest? Do we know?
Archcast
is the guest this week, and all the other stuff. Sunday afternoon tea with us. Sunday fun day. There we go. Massive thank you to everyone who came to watch today. Mods, thank you very much indeed for giving up your free time. Everybody who super chatted, remembered, gifted memberships, thank you for supporting the channel. We'll be back next week on Gary's channel. Until then, you take care. Goodbye, Belobo.
Ciao.
Bye.